WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show, Philadelphia's longest-running sports talk morning show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
Yes, we do. It's a Monday morning edition of The John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, and our 6 a.m. sponsor, as always, is Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White is here for the pro. Back in the day, there was a little bit that they used to do on Saturday Night Live, like a point counterpoint. And the two people would just go back and forth and insult each other, Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin, back in the day. And it was mocking like the TV news and the debate shows and things like that when they were in their infancy. And I sort of feel like it's a point counterpoint within my own notes of the Eagles' win yesterday and the 7-1 start. On one hand, and I think it's the most important one to look at. Number one, that they have one loss. That they're the only team in the NFL with one loss. That they are the number one seed in the NFC. That they are somehow managing to escape their own bad efforts. That's the number one talking point, as it should be. But again, if you're going to be objective, this team looks nothing like the 2022 Eagles. We're 8 games in. There's 9 games left. You're at the tipping point next week. This team does not look like last year's team. They don't execute the same. They're not as smooth. It's a very bumpy ride. I don't know what's happened because the roster hasn't been made over that much. But it's a very bumpy ride. And every time you think they get it fixed, like last weekend, we thought, okay, they got it fixed. Things are turning around. Sean Desai's got it going on. They dial up a defensive clunker versus Washington like that yesterday, making Sam Howell, again, who everybody else makes Sam Howell look awful, except the Eagles, except Sean Desai. He didn't learn from the first outing. Eric Bieniemy was playing chess, and I don't know what tiddlywinks or whatever we were seeing out of Sean Desai yesterday. So that's disappointing. But you're the best team in football. You're the best team. And you're heading into, I believe, a 6-game gauntlet. Everyone talks about it being a 5-game gauntlet. Yeah, I think it's a 6-game gauntlet. Because going to Seattle's not fun. It is never fun. And by the way, the Seahawks are the first-place team in the NFC West, not the 49ers. So the Seahawks are a challenging, good team, and you got to go out there and play them. You know that game's going to be hell. There's good, there's bad. There's A.J. Brown. There's absolutely ridiculously exceptional A.J. Brown, who is doing amazing things. So I feel like in my own head, I watch this team. I think the most important thing, they find a way to win. And I praise Nick Sirianni for it every week. The fact that his team, when they're favored, doesn't lose. He's the best NFL coach right now, active, when his team is favored, best winning percentage. He doesn't lose. I don't know how the hell he's not losing some of these games because yesterday was wild. Bob, fair? Unfair? I mean, it seems like a seesaw of emotion when you're looking at this team because I do believe that the number one summary point, they don't look nothing like the 2022 team.
Well, it's like when you talk about a team, characteristics of their coach. Well, this fan base takes on the characteristics of the football team. When things are great, the fans are great. When things are up and down like they were yesterday, the fandom's up and down. And that's just the way it is. And, you know, for better or for worse, that's the ride that you went on yesterday. We talked last week about how you act when teams lose, when teams don't play well and all that. Well, yesterday, I if you're invested in that way, where you wear your feelings on your sleeves and you just, ride every single play. Yeah, you were an emotional wreck yesterday at around 4:15. But like you said, John, the ultimate is that they do win the game. It doesn't matter if the Eagles are favored by a lot, by a little, whatever. That you say, like, yeah, they win when they're fit. They're 21-4 in their last 25 games. Isn't that like regular season games I'm talking?
That's like we've never understood that. There was an Andy Reid window where we had that, but it was a window. And it's not the same. Probably 2003 going into 2004. But 21-4, it's spoiled rotten.
Yeah,
compared to what we've been.
Throwing the playoff games and you're talking 23-5. That's not bad. Winning 23 out of 28 games. Yeah. So is it all clicking? No. Is it frustrating? Yes. How can the defense look so good last week against Miami, which is a speed demon of a team that can really light up the numbers offensively, and then this week go against Sam Howell and allow what they did? I don't know. I have a column a little bit later that might into a little bit of why.
So you're holding back on us is what you're saying. 7:05 an hour, we get the column. So you're holding back that.
It's just strange.
It's weird.
But, did good outweigh bad? It always does when you win a football game. It has to. So the offense looked really good. The knee is concerning. We'll talk about that all week leading up to whatever. Jay Glazer coming out with the bone bruise thing. I said yesterday before it came out, before you tweeted it out, that's where we saw it. A bone bruise is a sigh of relief. A meniscus tear, which probably talk to a trainer in the NFL all the time. A meniscus tear can probably be found in just about everybody. Is that this? I'm not proclaiming it is. It's good news that you didn't get news about a ligament.
Bad news. The bad news you didn't want to get. It was a tumultuous day yesterday. And Nick Sirianni had comments afterwards on his team's performance. And one of them, right off the bat, was he had to address why were the Commanders having such success versus this Eagles defense passing the football.
I think this week they were successful. A team last week, they there's some games they are and there's some games they're not. This week they were. Hats off to them. They did a good job. We got to do a better job of, putting them in positions to make plays on defense and execution. That's always what it's going to come down to. And so we'll look at the tape and see what happened. We have some ideas of what happened. And, I give them credit. I think Sam Howell's played 2 really good games against us. And their offenses and Coach Bieniemy's done a good job on as the offense coordinator for 2 games.
He didn't answer the question. He didn't answer it at all. There's no answer there. Give me an answer for that. Give me an answer why Sam Howell, who put up 7 points on the Giants, a 1-6 team, 2-5 team, put up 7 points on them, is able to torch you for 31 points again. Second time he's put up 31.
Can't give an answer if you don't have one.
You mean no, wait a minute, though.
Seriously.
You mean he watched that game? He's standing there on the sidelines. He's a quarterback coach. He's a guy who understands. He's been a quarterback coach. He's been an offense. He's a guy who understands offense. You mean to understand he doesn't understand why they're having success? I would think he looks at it and goes, here's what we're doing wrong. And if he doesn't understand it, watching the 60 Minutes, Bob, I got questions. How would you not understand it?
Well, you can understand that you want to take away one thing and then they do another one. And Eric Bieniemy dials up everything that just seems to be right against this team. Then you look at your linebackers and your safeties and you say, wow, we're really not as good up the middle as we hope to be right now. And that's where they absolutely tortured you.
And Miami couldn't.
I don't think he had an answer. I don't think if they played him again that he might be able to find an answer. It's just not a good matchup. And you have to come away with 2 wins against Washington. It's weird. It's strange. Should you kill them? Should they look against other teams? Yeah. But for some reason, they don't against the Eagles. And this is always a dogfight recently. I don't know why. I can't explain it. You were talking about, who was it last year? Heineke? That comes in here and beats you? Replace quarterback with another no-name somebody, and it's still going to be a tough game. I don't know why. I don't, and sometimes sports are inexplicable.
Bob should go to the press conference for Sirianni. He's got a good answer there. Now, by the way, I'm tired of you, Eric Bieniemy. Last 9 games the Eagles have played, they faced Eric Bieniemy 3 times, and Eric Bieniemy has managed to get him for 38, 31, and 31. That's ridiculous. With this talent on this defense, that's ridiculous. And it says a lot about Eric Bieniemy matching up against this coaching staff. But he doesn't do it against other people, which is strange. Now, Nick Sirianni was also asked after the game, what can you take away from a tough win like this?
Yeah, when you win tough games on the road against a tough opponent, this is a tough opponent. I got so much respect for Coach Rivera and these. Sam Howell, McLaurin, Allen, Payne, Sweat, Young. I mean, there's just a lot of respect I have for the guys on this football team, and I'm like, man, we got to play them twice a year, and they're always tough. It's a credit to Coach Rivera and the guys that they have. So, but anytime you win a division game like that on the road with some ups and downs. It teaches you, how to fight through adversity, which we all need. And yeah, I do believe it builds your team and builds your character.
He's answered that. By the way, he's used that like this is the fourth time this year. That same explanation. By the way, this morning, if you drive 100 miles south, those same people that he's praising and saying are getting freaking crushed, except for Sam Howell. They're getting Ron Rivera's getting crushed. Ron Rivera maybe gave that game away with some of his bad decisions. That 4th and 1 call that Ron Rivera made.
Or no decisions.
I mean,
not throwing the flag on the Devontae Smith catch. I have no idea.
Now, the minute he made the catch, did you say, oh, that's not a catch?
Well, you saw, it's hard to tell, obviously, on the TV, but you saw many people on the sidelines for Washington saying he didn't catch it. I think even some of the players on the field. Why you're not asking them as the head coach, I have no idea.
I will give the Eagles offense incredible credit. Because they got down the field, they snapped the ball before they had a chance, which they should have thrown the flag. I don't know what he was waiting for, but the explanation, I believe, Bob, from reading some of the stuff this morning was not wanting to burn a timeout if he didn't get it right, if he didn't get the ball right. So he was worried about that. And then he burns a timeout on another one later on in the game. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. It just did not make any sense at all.
Nick Sirianni says the turnovers, look, this team, and one of the reasons why, to me, they look nothing like the 2022 Eagles, to me, is because of all the slop, the sloppy play, the turnovers, the dumb decisions. Let's hear what Nick Sirianni has to say about it.
We ain't built that way. We're built by every mistake that we make, we correct. Every time we do something right, we praise. And that's accountability. Accountability is not only that you correct things that are wrong, but high praise when they're right. And again, that builds belief, right? And so we'll look at the fundamental cause of why the fumble happened, and we'll correct it. And we'll try to do our job to put them in positions to reenact that fumble. So we're trying not to make that play, that something like that happen again. If you said that to our players, you say that to one of our coaches, that doesn't register with us because we aren't built that way.
They would have scored 50 yesterday. I mean, honestly, they should have scored.
Absolutely.
They should have scored 50 points yesterday. And then the storyline of the game is completely different. But this team continually is shooting themselves in the foot. They are Plaxico Burress right now. They are, and we're 8 games in. It's not overreaction. It's not being hypercritical. It's 8 games in, and they're turning the ball over at an awful pace. I mean, and that is where, Bob, that's the number one way that, to me, that they do not look like last year's club.
Well, there's 2 ways, that and injury. And it appears your quarterback's playing through something pretty significant.
Well, that was pretty good if he's playing through something.
Yeah, but I mean, if you saw it when they had to hurry up to the line of scrimmage one time. God, he was limping so badly. Hopefully, that's not something that carries through. We've seen all the injuries that have gone on with this team. That didn't happen last year, so that's one thing you're battling. And yeah, this turnover thing. Now, I couldn't. Maybe you guys could tell. We were wrapping up on the pregame, and I was getting ready to go home on that fumble under center. Did Kelsey get the snap to his hands, or did it not get there on the fumble by Jalen Hurts or whoever it was?
Brendan, I didn't think Brendan Guns did not think in for Pat. I didn't think that they had a great angle on that.
No, they never had a You kind of just saw the ball in between Kelsey's legs at one point, but they never showed if it was because they bobbled the snap or if Jalen Hurts dropped it on his own. They never really got a good angle.
We didn't get a good explanation.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like a good transfer there from center to quarterback, whatever it may be. So how often does that happen? Not very when
Not
you have
very
Jason
often,
Kelsey.
no.
Yeah. If yesterday wasn't the defining moment of stop putting Kenny Gainwell in the game and relying on him inside the 10-yard line, I don't know what it's going to take.
Oh, there's a lot more on Kenny Gainwell that needs to be discussed, too, that we'll get into. Number one question for the start of the morning, flat out. I do not believe the 2023 Eagles look like the 2022 Eagles. Now, look, they're the best team in the NFL and the best team in the NFC, record-wise. So that's a great thing that you can still find ways to be better and you're that good. But to me, there's no resemblance between the 2022 team that went to the Super Bowl and this team right now. What do you think? And you can share it with us at 610-632-0975. Bob will have a column towards the top of the hour. Then Mark Schlereth joins us, who did the game yesterday. And Mark will give us the skinny on what he saw. And I think from just our discussion, I had a discussion with him last night, I have a feeling you're going to feel better about the Eagles after you hear from Mark Schlereth, who did the game yesterday. Plus, Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds gives us his breakdown of the game coming up at 8 o'clock. So lots of chances for you to get in with us at 610-632-0975. Is this team, do they resemble last year's team at all to you? Because other than A.J. Brown just being on a rampage, this team looks far more vulnerable. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, jump into the NBA action with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because right now new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass, courtesy of FanDuel, when they place a $5 bet on the NBA. That way you can watch all the action as you bet on everything, from point spreads to player props, all of the great things. Best of all, you'll get paid for winnings instantly. So don't miss your chance to get $200 in bonus bets plus 3 League Pass. Just visit FanDuel.com/Bob and tip off the NBA season right. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. Must be present in Pennsylvania. New customer offer. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. All customer offer. $5 NBA wager required. Limit 1 pass per customer across both offers. Restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See full terms for both offers at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. NBA League Pass. Local blackout restrictions apply.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Move over Calvin Johnson. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by BQ Basements and Concrete. If your basement or crawl space smells musty or has watermarks on the block wall, you need to get a completely free home inspection from the experts. Call BQ Basements and Concrete, because the problem will only get worse. The Eagles knocked off the Washington Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31. The team struggled early on, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team for the second time this season. A.J. Brown moved into the history books, becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record 6 straight games of 125 yards or more receiving, passing Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. Jalen Hurts also threw for 300 yards for the 11th time in his career while tossing 4 touchdowns. On to Dallas. The 76ers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers last night by a score of 126-98 in the team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid's availability heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points while bringing in 15 rebounds. The Sixers will be back in action Thursday night when the Toronto Raptors visit town for the second meeting between the two teams this season. The Flyers look to get back in the win column tonight when they take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. You can hear that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joining the show at 7:20 will be Mark Schlereth, and 8 a.m. Andrew DiCecco. Keep it live. Latest news and information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia Flyers season is here. The anticipation for the future is positive. Follow the Flyers all season right here with play-by-play and more. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, have you ever been ripped off? It sucks. Having a daily reminder of it is even worse. If you shave with a well-known big razor brand every morning, you might be thinking more about how much you paid for the blades than about how smooth your shave is. I'm Andy, the founder of Harry's. We give you a high-quality shave and an expertly engineered product for a fraction of the price that the big guys charge, with no compromises. They have 5 blades, Harry's has 5 blades. They have a lubricating strip, Harry's has a lubricating strip for extra glide. They have a trimmer blade, Harry's has a trimmer blade for the hard-to-reach areas. They charge up to $4 per blade. Our German-engineered blades cost as little as $2. Big brands charge higher prices because they can. Harry's keeps you in mind, focusing on high quality at a fair price. So stop rinsing cash down the drain. Get a great shave for a fraction of the price with Harry's. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/comfort. That's harrys.com/comfort.
Hey, it's Ricky Metallico to tell you about our friends at Schwartz Culleton. You've heard their ads and their iconic phone number for years, 1-800-JUSTICE. When you've been injured in a car accident, there is no greater resource than an experienced lawyer. The lawyers at Schwartz Culleton have well over 100 years combined experience prosecuting claims on behalf of individuals injured in car accidents. They have helped over 10,000 clients obtain the justice they deserve. The firm has become a bedrock of the Philadelphia community and the surrounding suburbs. From start to finish, they'll help you get your car repaired and ensure you have all the best doctors for your injuries. They have medical specialists and have a reputation companies. There is no doubt you'll get if you call 1-800-JUSTICE. Again, it's 1-800-JUSTICE. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need some headlight bulbs.
You can earn a $10 bonus reward when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs.
Get in zone.
Wait, my wiper blades are streaking too. I need some new ones.
Right now, you can earn a $15 bonus reward when you buy 2 Rain X Quantum wiper blades. With new blades and bulbs, you'll see better on the road.
Get in zone.
Wow, how do you remember all these deals?
Call it Second Sight.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. Then again, next year you get the latest iPhone. Every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At DiCecco, we know ordering food for work can get complicated pretty fast.
We're going to need breakfast for the entire office on Thursday.
Janet wants really nice bagels.
Make sure some are gluten-free.
Make sure they have great coffee.
Can there also be waffles?
Janet has a hard stop at 9:30.
$15 a person
I'm going to need
max.
itemized receipts for this. Is the budget for breakfast different than the budget? We're just going to grab and go. Fine.
Company breakfast? Just use DiCecco. Food for work delivered on time as ordered with a huge variety. 100,000 restaurants, one platform. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Introducing a completely redesigned Dick's Experience, a reimagined sports destination with an expanded assortment of the latest apparel and footwear styles from Nike, Adidas, Kalia, and the North Face, and the best gear to improve your game, plus interactive experiences. Test your skills inside the Hit Track's multi-sport cage or perfect your swing in our TrackMan Golf Simulator. Welcome to an entirely new next-generation Dick's. Grand reopening weekend, November 17th through 19th in Oxford Valley and Willow Grove.
Is it possible that fast internet could take your business to the next level? With gig speed Wi-Fi from Comcast Business, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 11/12/2023. Restrictions apply. Eco bill and auto pay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and compatible router.
Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union offers free checking without the fine print. That's right. Straightforward and simple. Enjoy no minimum balance requirement, free online statements, free fraud monitoring services, and get an instant shoot. Open your free checking account at FMF no fine print or at an FMFCU branch. Franklin Men Federal Credit Union. Membership eligibility applies. Federally insured by NCUA.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
It's a football Monday on The Fanatic, and it's brought to you by Pierce Phelps, Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com. Get flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. You wake up today with the number one team in the NFL. Number one team. Do they look like last year's team to you, though? Do they? 610-632-0975. And Mark Schlereth will join us at 7:20. Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds at 8. And a Cooney's column will be hot off the presses at 7:05. But let's get rolling with let you have your say here. We'll hear from some of our jurors during the course of the day, too. Jay in West Philadelphia joins us on The Fanatic. Good morning, Jay.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, y'all. How y'all feel?
Good, Jay. Well, depends, Jay. Does this team resemble the 2022 team to you?
No, not at all. But I think that's a good thing.
Tell me why.
Because, like you said, the adversity, I think it'll help them down the line. Because last year they had some tough games, but they pretty much ran through a lot of people. I think this will help, like, if we get to the Super Bowl or if we get back there. Because I think they overcoming a lot of stuff. And like they say, good teams, they make plays and they win games.
Bob, they definitely did. As Jay run through people last year.
Yeah, Washington is just a matchup problem. Like it's been that way for years ever since I started watching football. Like Art Monk, all them dudes, Ricky Sanders. Every time we play Washington, there's always something. It's just
division games are different, right, Jay? Division games are just different. And I said it earlier in the show, and I'll explain a little more in about a half an hour. I do a column. Sometimes it's just not explainable.
Can I ask you guys, though? Look, wait a minute. You guys said divisional matchups. 14-7.
It's just a thing. Like
it's
can't
weird.
Explain it. It's just a thing. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
I know it's only 3 games, but how about Maxie and Harris?
Thanks.
They look fun. John and I were talking about it this morning before the show started. Except for and I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the pregame show. I don't blame referees, and I don't go that route. I will say that early on in a season, no matter the sport, players sometimes are rusty, aren't up to snuff. I don't think the referees were up to snuff in Game 1 against Milwaukee, and I think quite frankly, I think it cost us a win there.
Adam in Morristown joins us. Adam, good morning. You're on The Fanatic. Does this team resemble the 2022 team very much to you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Absolutely not, and it's a good thing.
Okay, dude, again, tell us why.
Because as a fan of another team, I'm looking at the Eagles last year, and we're all looking at them on paper like, they look good, but they're not going to necessarily. But they showed and proved last year, and now this year it's like the play, the brotherly. You can't do anything about it. They're going to win. And it's frustrating as a fan of another team because you're just like, they've got all this talent, they're using it, they're winning. Even if the wins come out, I would never bet against the Eagles.
Wow.
I would,
They're a bad team to bet against, by the way. They are one of the worst to bet against in the NFL.
You're right. And so, I'm just, we're all on notice, and you still can't stop it regardless. And it's very frustrating. As a guy, I just moved in the area, so I'm just like, I get they're not, as clean and smooth, but what more could you ask for in a franchise?
Why don't you change teams? Are you open? Are you open to it?
Oh, no, isn't there rules in this office about the way people are supposed to root or something?
No,
you're not allowed to change.
He can change. If Adam wants in, you can get in. Adam, think about it. Consider it.
All right.
Consider it, buddy. Take care, man.
Well, it's funny that you bring up the Eagles don't look like they did last year. So who were the biggest contenders supposed to be for the NFC crown this year?
49ers and Dallas.
Do the 49ers look like they were supposed to look like this year?
No.
Does Dallas look like they were supposed to? Now, they put up 43 points yesterday.
Yeah.
They've been up and down, though. They've been a roller coaster. They look pretty good. But, it's weird. You go around to the best teams in the league. Cincinnati hasn't really. Kansas City lost in Denver yesterday. It's I don't want to say it because we would be out of a job if we just say, hey, it's just the NFL. That's the way it works. But sometimes it is. Like, sometimes weird things happen. Do I think Kansas City's not going to be there at the end of the year because they lost at Denver yesterday? No, not at all. Buffalo hasn't looked all that great this year at times.
They'll probably be there.
That's what it's about, right? So what are you happier with? Piling up the wins, going 7-1, and maybe not looking your best, or would you rather say San Francisco looked phenomenal the first 4 or 5 games of the year in a row,
and they don't look?
It's the roller coaster of sports, really. And if you pile up the wins when maybe you're not playing your best football, basketball, hockey, baseball, God bless you.
Well, I mean, Brendan,
and maybe that is the sign. Sorry, John. Maybe that is the sign of the best team in the sport.
Brendan's a very talented young man. If on Monday he shows up 15 minutes late and it causes problems with the show, and they go, yeah, it's just a young guy, he's getting started, he's understanding the challenge, and then we use that excuse again on Thursday, the same thing happens. And then the following week we use it on a Wednesday. At that point, you can't keep using that, well, we're learning from these mistakes, because they're not learning. Brendan, start being on time, you son of a... Oh, wait, you are on time. You're very good
I'm usually here. I'm punctual.
You're early. Yeah, I just used that as an example. I mean, when you look at it, does this team look like it to you?
Not to me yet, but I kind of agree with the callers. And Bob, I don't think it's the worst thing yet. I think they're still on their way to playing that best football, right? I think that's kind of formality when people say, oh, well, you don't want your team playing the best football in October. Well, I do think you can play your best football in October and January and February.
Well,
they're not mutually exclusive. But I think they're on their way there. Like you said, they could have scored 52 points yesterday if they didn't fumble on the goal line twice. The Kenny Gainwell thing, that's an issue to me. The Jalen Hurts tush-push fumble, I don't see that happening very often again. So some of those things I can just tuck away, and it's not any big deal to me.
Hey, Marcus in Atlantic City joins us. Marcus, good morning. You're on The Fanatic.
Gentlemen, good morning. Happy Monday to you.
Good to hear from you, buddy.
All right. Before I go in, man, let me just give my thoughts and prayers to those people in Maine. I actually know one of the individuals who was shot.
Oh, that's terrible.
He's thankfully coming out of ICU. Parents flew up from Florida. So praying for all those that are still here, but even those that lost, those 18 people there. So
Great point, Marcus.
I'll bring it back to sports. But the fact is I was on a plane yesterday, so I couldn't actually see the game. But when I left Florida, it was 14-3, I believe. And then by the time I got off, I'm watching the onside kick like, whoa, what's going on, 38-31. So I'm listening to you guys as the recap comes. And what I started thinking about is Washington is like that food on your plate, that vegetable that you don't want to eat, but your parents are going to make you eat it. That's basically Washington for me. We got to get through Washington to get to the dessert. You know what I mean? And the fact is, every year they seem to just do something. I don't know if you want to say a letdown game before Dallas, the divisional game, as Bob was saying, but, there has to be something that they can continue to learn from this, because if you play like you played against Miami, if you play – if you get these 38 points, is that going to be enough versus a Dallas offense who can be finicky? But their defense, we know, is good, even with losing Diggs. And they're coming into the link next week. You got the primetime time, and the fact is that
4:25, yeah.
4:25. I mean, it's prime time.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we'll take it.
The fact is that you could put a start aspirations to come back in this division. They're 2 losses already, and put them out of commission, because you got to see them again on December 10th.
I think you got it, Marcus. If they appreciate you today, if they win Sunday, I think it's the foot on the throat. All you have to do is split with Dallas at this point, as long as you don't just totally bust a tire and go out and do what the 49ers are doing. And I don't see the Eagles have never done that under Sirianni, so I have no reason to think that that's coming. None to think that that's coming. Kyle Shanahan, it can come.
Well, it can. It can come to Nick Sirianni. It can come to Bill Belichick. It can come to Andy Reid. That's the NFL, and it could come in the form of an injury to the quarterback is more severe than you thought.
Yeah, something like that happens.
Or it can come in bad football play. I mean, it could happen. There's I don't look at this like you're asking the question, John. Why doesn't this team look like they did last year? Well, they don't. And does that mean you can look like they do now and still go 14-3 like they did last year? Perhaps. Would you be more shocked this year than last year if they lost a couple in a row? 3 out of 5, I don't know, 2 out of 4, whatever. I don't know. That's kind of where this conversation is going that you're leading. Like, they don't look as good as last year. Is something bad coming? You hope not, but it could. It certainly could.
I don't feel it's coming Sunday. By the way, I always give you my feeling beginning of the week. I very rarely ever change it. I feel good about the Eagles winning on Sunday. Really good. Really good. I'll put really good on it that they win. Michael in Yardley joins us on The Fanatic. Michael, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Victory Monday, guys.
Nice to have a 7-1 team, eh?
It's great to have a 7-1 team. But the question is, like last year's team, I would say absolutely not. And I'm going to disagree with the callers. I'm going to say it's a bad thing. And I'm going to say it's a bad thing because of this reason. Last year, we weren't just great because we were world beaters. We were great because of efficiency. Efficiency on third down, efficiency in the red zone. We had, by the end of the year, we had 9 interceptions. And mind you, 3 of them were from our backup quarterback. 9 interceptions. We had 17 interceptions by the end of the season on defense. This year, we're already at 8 interceptions. We're already at 5 fumbles lost. And on defense, we only have 4 interceptions with 6 fumble recoveries.
It's sloppy.
In terms of differential, when you look at all the teams that are late into the year, their differential is in the positive. Their differential is in the negative right now, and I'm not a talent issue. It's not a skill issue where like people need to get better with the season. It's just an efficiency issue.
Yeah, they got to absolutely something they got to work.
It's a great point. You know, I when we talk about what could happen with this team, for them to falter, for them to go on that little skid that we just talked about, whatever. Obviously, injuries are up there at the top of them, and you never want it, and you hope it doesn't happen. And the Eagles have been lucky with that. But we have to look at this turnover situation. I mean, it's bad.
It's sloppy.
It's bad. Sloppy, stupid, however you want to label it. It's not what you expect out of Philadelphia Eagle football over the last couple of years. And they've been lucky. It hasn't hurt them yet. It hasn't really hurt them yet. Yesterday was way too close for comfort. Probably in a lot of people's minds, they were able to overcome it. That's good, but a really good football team doesn't overcome their own circumstances. And that seems what the Eagles are doing, more than you would like so far this year.
Hey, let's see what Ike in Southwest Philly has to say. Ike, good morning. You're on The Fanatic.
Good morning, y'all.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Yo, so they don't look the same. For one, they're not the same team. We got more younger players. We got more injuries in our secondary. So, yeah, we're not the same. And I'm going to go and say it's okay as long as we're winning. And we got to work on these injuries. So I think, John, you're a little bit of a perfectionist, like too much of a perfectionist for me.
A little bit?
Yeah. I try to be nice. But, also I will say this, too. We can't minimize the fact that people had a year to get ready for our team now. Like last year, it was like a little blitzkrieg. It was first year with A.J. Brown. The tush push, our offense was kind of fresh a little bit in terms of the lead. So people had time to study it and try to take certain things away.
Well, what did we do in the offseason then?
Yeah, we got new coordinators.
Yeah, and they seem a little over their skis at times.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I actually really don't think, because here's the thing. I believe we in the top 5 offense. We
top 3 in points scored.
Okay, and I thought we was like number 2 yards when we going into the Miami game, if I remember correctly, was behind Miami. Second of all, our defense is a little helter-skelter, but like I said, we had a whole lot more change on defense than we did offense. We're not the same team. Year to year, Bob, you know that, year to year, things change. People get older. New players come in. So
and you just signed 2 old. You signed 2 old corners, Ike. Thank you.
Yeah, signed an old wide receiver, and he got you a touchdown yesterday too. Yeah, I mean, we still can't deny what the makeup of the team is. You're still unproven at safety. You're still unproven at linebacker. I mean, we thought they were getting good linebacker play. Nakobe Dean comes back from an injury, and boom, they plug him right back in to start. Wait, like, doesn't that kind of raise a red flag? Like, wait a second, I thought that play was going well, and you changed it all up. There's still question marks abound in the defense at times. Now, they look tremendous schematically. I thought they got their coach. They got coached up really well against Miami.
Oh.
I thought they played really, really good. And then yesterday, you just take a step back and say, where did that go? But I have an answer for you.
Yeah, coming up in the column.
Yeah.
Brendan, he does this to us, by the way, so just get used to it.
It's called a tease. That's big in radio. It's big in a marriage and it's big in radio, Brendan.
Taking notes. I'm taking
It's
notes.
big in marriage?
Yeah.
It is big in marriage. You tell me it works well. I like that. We have, so Bob's column at 7:05, Mark Schlereth at 7:20, and Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds at 8. I do want to bring up something. We've had a lot of issues with Kenny Gainwell this year. Kenny Gainwell being on his freaking phone at halftime of an NFL game, going at it with internet trolls, pisses me off. I am an anti-phone person. As Brendan knows, as Haley knows, the young people know, I hate the constant, put down your phone. Like, put it down. We're in an NFL game where the Eagles are playing crappy football at halftime, and Kenny Gainwell was part of that. And he's on his phone? Reading what people are saying about him, that needs to be addressed in a major way, Bob. That is a joke that Gainwell is worried about what people are saying about him on the internet. He's in the middle of a game. He's getting involved.
I saw the timing of it and the tweet that said, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this." Could it be that somebody outside of the locker room had his phone? I don't know. I'm not making excuses for the guy. I find it hard to believe sitting in at halftime of the game grabbing his phone.
I don't believe that, Brendan, you can more speak to it. You're more in the age group. I don't believe he's without his phone ever.
No, he brings that everywhere, but you can't do that at halftime. You simply can't.
I think he had his phone. And I understand Bob's kind. Bob always takes a kind.
No, I'm not being kind.
I want to. That's a kind way to look at it because it could be true.
It's not kind.
It could possibly be true.
It's like being a reporter. Like, I don't want to speculate until I find out it was exactly him doing it. Yeah, the timing looks terrible.
I wouldn't think somebody would have his phone and would be answering
or his account or whatever it may be.
His DMs. I don't believe that. Like, I find that incredibly hard to believe in his age group. I
want to hear the answer to it. If it was him, that's cause for concern. Like,
where's your head?
Yeah, he just doesn't look confident out there. And if he's answering this lens to it, if he's out there answering fans at halftime of a game where you're not playing all that well, that's a serious problem.
That is a big time problem. More importantly, what are you doing that you're not like? I mean, now people think of it differently. It really isn't it's not Friday Night Lights at halftime in NFL. I got to observe 1 week of an NFL team thanks to Thomas Dimitroff, who was, our guest last week. I got to see an NFL team go through everything one day and as a guest. That the halftime shocked me the most because it was guys are eating sandwiches, drinking Gatorades, drinking power drinks, smoothies, sitting around chatting. It wasn't like I was expecting the coach, here, let's go to the whiteboard. Let's start breaking. That happened. Now, maybe some coaches do, but maybe Nick Sirianni runs it very casual or lets the veterans just have it because it's not what you necessarily see on TV. The adjustments that go on. Is it that way in the NBA, Bob? I get halftime.
No, they get in and they go over things at half, and it's funny you bring that up because I have something I want to talk about with the Sixers as far as this very subject. But no, you'll go in. Yeah, it's for rest. It's for nutrition and all that stuff. But it's also to make a little adjustments. They have a whiteboard in the NBA. They'll go over exactly what the stats are. Every player has a box score in front of them. A coach will go over something for a few minutes, let them rest, and then they go out on their own to get re-warmed up. But that's different. 82 games to make an adjustment 82 times, that's different. I would imagine in an NFL game, offense one room, defense another room, and, hey, let's watch this, let's do that, stop doing this.
We're going to brag on A.J. Brown because he deserves to be just bragged on. He's a beast. Plus, Bob will have his initial thoughts on 3 games, small sample size. But I tell you, I told Bob something this morning, and I think you may be feeling it too about the Sixers. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm here for my friends at Window Nation to tell you that it is the best time of year to take advantage of this deal because it's a great deal. How about getting 2 windows free for every 2 that you buy? Your house has 24 windows. How about paying for 12? Already, that is a great deal. But there's more. How about putting no money down, making no payments, paying no interest for 2 full years? I have literally taken every excuse off the table for you not replacing those leaky, cracked, ugly windows. First of all, change out the windows. It adds to the property value of your home. Then you can save up to 30% on your energy bills on 2 cold winters and 2 hot summers to come. Plus, Window Nation, they're the best. And when you're paying for half the windows that you're getting, and then you're not paying anything for 2 full years, you got all the time in the world to build up the money to be able to pay for the purchase. You're going to love Window Nation. Every size, every style, every color, available for you at windownation.com. And then I need you to call them. Make your order at 866-90-NATION. Tell them Kincade sent you to 866-90-NATION.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Alone at the top. I'm Brent. This update is brought to you by Boost Infinite. Hey, thinking of getting the latest iPhone? Then check out the amazing wireless offer from Boost Infinite. For more, just dial pound 250 on your phone and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network. The Eagles knocked off the Washington Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31. The team struggled early on, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team for the second time this season. A.J. Brown moved into the history books, becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record 6 straight games of 125 receiving yards or more, passing Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. Jalen Hurts also threw for over 300 yards for the 11th time in his career while tossing 4 touchdowns. On to Dallas week. The 76ers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers last night by a score of 126-98, the team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid's availability heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points and brought in 15 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey scored 26 of his own, and Tobias Harris checked 24. The Sixers will be back in action Thursday night when the Toronto Raptors visit the team for the team's second matchup against the Raptors this season. The Flyers look to get back in the win column tonight when they take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. You can hear that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Coming up at 7:20, Mark Schlereth will join the show, who was on the call yesterday. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Batalico, and Jen Scordo. The best show ever. Listen weekday afternoons 2 to 6. The Eagles, the Phillies, the Bears. We have you covered all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fingles, founder of New Look Home Design.
And I'm Jess Fingles, manager at New Look Home Design.
What are you doing here, Jess?
Well, little brother, I'm doing the same thing you've been doing for over 20 years, offering a fantastic deal on roofing from a fantastic company.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, people refer to me as the better Fingles. So I deal on roofing, right? Save 50% on all roofing materials, plus get a staggering 5 years interest-free financing. And lastly, we'll throw in a manufacturer Golden Pledge warranty.
What are you doing, Jess? That's crazy.
Well, Pat, as manager of New Look, I see things differently than you. I'm responsible for a great customer experience. I ensure every job goes smooth, and now I'm ensuring everyone gets the best deal.
Sounds like you really are the better Fingles. Don't wait. Call 800-279-5300 or visit newlookhomedesign.com. Better deals from the better Fingles.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now, hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. Then again, next year you get the latest iPhone. every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need some headlight bulbs.
You can earn a $10 bonus reward when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs.
Get in zone. Wait, my wiper blades are some new ones.
Right now, you can earn a bonus reward when you buy 2 Rain X Quantum wiper blades. With new blades and bulbs, you'll see better on the road.
Get in zone. Wow, how do you remember all these deals?
Call it Second Sight.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike.
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or one offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
The weather this time of year is more unpredictable than my fantasy football team.
Wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
The weather or my team?
The weather. Your team stinks. I can't believe who you drafted in the first round.
A new system from Pierce Phelps will keep you comfortable no matter what the weather does. And right now, qualified buyers can enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on a new home comfort system. Visit nopaybryant.com to find a Delaware Valley dealer near you.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
Ricky Bowe here for Alpha Men's Center. Did you know that most men over age 50 have ED? Over 60%. Don't let that number get you down, because Alpha Men's Center has a 96% success rate treating ED. Yes, 96%. Right now, your first consultation is only $99, which includes the visit, blood work, and test dose. Schedule yours today at alphamencenter.com or call 484-685-1235. Get off the sidelines and back in the game with Alpha Men's Center.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5, The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
You got a Cooney's column 10 minutes away. I tried to peek Brendan, and he just keeps covering it up. Like he turns the screen, won't let me see it. We're going to find out Bob's summarization as if you paid $2.95 for it. Coming up at 7:05. Mark Schlereth at 7:20. He did the game yesterday, and I totally spaced last week that he was doing the game. We always would have him on before the game, and then Mark would join us after the game. And I totally spaced. I apologize for it. And he'll join us coming up at 7:20. Look forward to that. It was awesome hearing the way the crowd took over the game. That stadium. That was the fourth quarter. My wife says, who are they rooting for? I don't understand. It doesn't sound right. And I said, that's all the Eagles fans making all that noise. It was incredible.
We had Tim McManus on yesterday at like 11:30, and the Eagles chants in the background were like interrupting our conversation. That's how loud it was.
I love it. I love it. All right, Chris in Delaware. Before I want Bob to have a few thoughts on the Sixers to get off the table here, but Chris in Delaware, you've been holding on the Eagles. You have an explanation why they don't look like last year?
Yes, I do. I think the thing that we have to keep in mind is right now the Eagles secondary is a plug and play. Obviously, they just acquired Byard,
right?
But what you also have to keep in mind, you have Sidney Brown, who is a safety, is playing a slot defender, and obviously you got Blankenship. So what I saw yesterday, what Washington was doing, they were giving the Eagles trips to one side, which forced either Kobe Dean to pick up the slot defender, Blankenship to pick up the slot defender, and obviously Brown. That's where the Eagles are being exploited. That's why Howie is trying to get a slot a slot corner to defend the slot receiver, and I think that's something that we need to keep an eye on coming in with Dallas, because Dallas is going to exploit the same thing with Cooks and Turbin, if that's something, and obviously when they know the Eagles are trying to get that addressed.
Chris,
that's why they don't look the same.
Chris, you're a good caller, man. We need you on the jury next year. You're really you guys are good announcement. Here's one thing I'd say to you though. Did we give Jonathan Gannon his first year the opportunity to say, yeah, things are shaky, but it's okay? When Jonathan Gannon was letting Patrick Mahomes pass for 79%, this city was saying he was a bum. When we allow Sam Howell to pass at 79%, I'm not hearing the same vitriol.
Well, because sometimes...
And he's got a more talented Desai, has a more talented defense.
Yes, but see, the chemistry is not there. You got guys that are plugging and playing. Blankenship just came back from injury. You got a new acquired by Byard, and you got a rookie playing. There is a difference. You have to allow them to get cohesive.
Okay.
I think sometimes we get impatient and we expect the Eagles to dominate, and it's the NFL. This is not high school football.
Good job. Chris sounds a lot like you, Bob.
No, he sounds smart.
I don't want to give you my whole resume, but I played for Bruce Arians at Temple back in the 80s.
Wait a minute. We were classmates then. I mean, it could have been.
You didn't run the same circles, Chris, trust me.
Great job, Chris. Take care of yourself, buddy.
He makes a lot of good points. Yeah, good job by Chris there.
Good caller.
Yeah, you made a statement. I don't know. Is this defense better, has more talent than last year?
No, the 2021. In 2021, Jonathan Gannon was getting crushed on this radio station every day.
21, okay.
Because he allowed Patrick Mahomes pass for 78% completion percentage. Sam Howell just passed for 79 yesterday. And I'm not hearing the same vitriol. And by the way, yes, the Eagles' 2023 defense is more talented than the 2021 defense. It's just strange, people's perspective at times. Now, I asked you a question this morning, Bob, is that the idea of I watch this Sixers team now, and I've watched pretty much parts of all three games, a lot more of the Saturday game. I'm so impressed right now with I'm enjoying watching the game more. The ball movement, the speed. It just looks like they're a little bit different, but I don't really understand I don't understand necessarily what the agenda is at all times as far as what he's trying to do.
Well, I think you hit on a lot of it. They do want to move more. They do want to have better ball movement. It's not a stand and dribble one guy and a two-man game all that often. Although I love the way Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid are playing a two-man game when it does come to that. But it's movement. It's movement off the defensive end of the floor. You see them trap a lot. You see them get hands in the passing lane. I haven't been down there yet. I'm going down tomorrow, but I'm sure that deflections is a huge talking point with a Nick Nurse team, getting hands in the passing lanes, deflecting balls, leading out to fast breaks and all. Yeah, they're a fun team. And like I said earlier, if it wasn't for referees having a bad time of it in the fourth quarter in that Milwaukee game, this team's 3-0 right now. And they're probably having a lot of people saying, oh, I really got to check this out. They are fun to watch. Maxey's fun. Tobias Harris has found a little something. He's really efficient this year. The athletes can be in Nick Nurse's offense. They're not standing around. You don't see guys in corners stand there waiting for the ball. So far, so good. So far,
it's
so
fun
good is
to
how
watch.
I'll label it.
It's more fun to watch.
It
to
is.
me,
Well,
right
there's movement. Yeah, there's movement.
And Maxey's unleashed a little bit.
Yeah, Maxey's good. Kelly Oubre's playing really well. They're just, this is an offense where athletes will shine. And the Sixers have more of them than they have had in it. D'Anthony Melton and other guys like that. They have more of them than they have had recently.
The 7 o'clock hour of the John Kincade Show is brought to you by the all-new BetParks app. Sportsbook and casino in a sleek, easy-to-use app. You got football tonight, by the way. We're all rooting against the Lions tonight because you'd like to see the Lions take a couple L's just to loosen things up in the NFC. But get the BetParks app. You can do live in-game wagering and more. You'll love it, plus all the casino games. Check it out.
You know, one more thing I wanted to add about the Sixers real quick, and you were talking about the job that Nick Nurse has done, and then we were talking about the Eagles. What adjustments do you make? The Sixers have outscored their opponents by 33 points in the third quarter total in these 3 games. Every game they've had a decided advantage in the third quarter. What does that tell you? You're coming out in the third quarter. Yeah. So I think some things are being done by Nick Nurse at halftime, or it's a mindset, whatever it may be. They've gotten a significant advantage in the third quarter so far this year.
You also would say things like with Nick Nurse when we had those playoff matchups that you would go, Nick Nurse, if you get it down to a 3-minute game, he's deadly dangerous with what he can do.
He's good. Like, there's nothing, it's funny. One of the things about him that I was told when talking to people is that he's just a basketball freak, a nut. He wants to talk about it all the time. There's not a situation he's not accustomed to. That worries me, to tell you the truth, because there's another coach in the NBA that's like that, and let's just say it doesn't wear well with people. But there's not a situation that he's not going to be ready for. And look, I look at body language an awful lot. The guys around him look pretty happy. They look pretty happy at what Nick Nurse is trying to do here with the Sixers so far, and that can't be understated.
I said to you, I would imagine that there's a happy person in the likes of one Tyrese Maxey coming up for a contract, getting to showcase so much more of his skill set, which is pretty awesome too. So
yeah, he's good at that basketball thing.
Hey, you know who else is really good at that thing with a ball? AJ Brown. And before we get to Cooney's column, I want you to hear a little bit of the Eagles bragging on AJ Brown, who is having a ridiculous 939 yards already. In just 8 games, he's ridiculous, and he's awesome. And Nick Sirianni says, yeah, he's pretty freaky.
Always. That's after an ugly win. That's after an ugly loss. That's after a pretty win. That's after there's no pretty loss. So that's after everything. That's our job, is to make sure that we're correcting the mistakes, so we're not making the same mistakes. The turnovers we gotta cut out. That's big right there. But it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't pretty at all. Now this is the National Football League, and it's tough to win games. We came into it a road game.
I wanted a little more bragging on AJ. So let's try it here with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts says, "Hey, it was a really good game, but he's also going to find a way to be proud of AJ Brown."
I mean, he's doing really impressive things. He's playing at a very high level. He's been consistent, and as a friend, I know what his mentality is and where it's coming from. It's no surprise. And the way he works, what he does in the offseason, where his mental is, and why. And so I'm proud of him as a friend and as a quarterback. I'm proud that he's truly invested into winning and putting the team first and doing whatever he needs to do in his role to win.
He's an acrobat. The Eagles have 2 of the best. I bet you there is not a better 1-2 combination with footwork than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, the little toe taps. Devontae Smith is like a ballerina out there the way he does it. But A.J. Brown with such force, the way he just goes for the ball and pulls it in, and is so aggressive and so strong.
Yeah, he is all of that. And when you can combine finesse with power and separation skills and ability to go up and get a ball in traffic, honestly, there's nothing, not only A.J. Brown, all those things that I just said kind of describe Devontae Smith, too. There's nothing that these receivers really don't seem to be able to do. And it is such a luxury. And, Jalen Hurts saying, yeah, I'm proud of him as a... Yeah, you better be damn happy as a teammate you have him as a receiver, too. Let's not forget that.
I think what's really good, too, is the fact is, Bob, is that, there are games where you watch A.J. Brown and he's wide open. And he's catching the ball like in space, and he's got room to make plays. Yesterday, it seemed like he made contested catch after catch, and was unbelievable.
Oh, that one-hander in the corner of the end zone was terrific. And then the other touchdown that he went up and got, he was double-teamed.
Yes.
And, he just positions himself, and he gets to the ball first, and he doesn't miss it. He's just he appears to have some of the strongest wide receiver hands in the NFL.
He's on his way to a record-setting season, but don't tell that to A.J. Brown because he doesn't want to hear it.
I think it'll be a time where I sit down and I'll be like, go AJ, but it's not it right now. We got a big matchup, got Dallas. From what I hear, they had a good game, and we got to clean up some stuff, and we got to go to work. It's going to be a war. So,
man, I love that answer. I couldn't love that answer more. That they already are looking ahead to Dallas. Game's over now. Let's look at Dallas. Let's see what's coming.
Yeah,
but
and they're coming.
I feel very good. Again, I'll tell you again, just like Miami week, I feel very good about the Eagles going into this Dallas game. What did Bob think yesterday, though? Now, normally, back in the day, you would have had to pay like $2.95 to get Bob's opinion. You get it free every morning on The Fanatic, but Cooney's columns are always a little more in-depth.
Let's turn the page and find out what's in Cooney's column.
Sometimes sports are just simply inexplicable. That's the only real reason you can come up with when trying to explain why the Phillies lost to the Arizona Diamondbacks in the NLCS last week, or how the Eagles beat the Patriots in Super Bowl 52 when Tom Brady threw for 505 yards and his team never punted. Perhaps it doesn't make a boatload of sense that our own Ricky Bottalico owned Barry Bonds back in their playing days. And then there is the 2023 version of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders, a Commanders team that was unwatchable a week ago in a 14-7 loss to the lowly New York Giants, a Washington team that had their quarterback sacked at an alarming rate, a team that rode an emotional high early in the season with 2 wins when new ownership group, headed by Sixers owner Josh Harris, was announced, but now has come crashing back down to reality. Well, unless they're playing the Eagles, that is. How is it that Sam Howell has averaged 343 passing yards in 2 games with 5 touchdowns and a completion percentage of 73? Or that the Commanders can control the ball as if they're playing keep away from their younger brother? Again, sometimes sports is inexplicable. But perhaps there's a little more of an explanation than simply Washington is a divisional opponent and all that brings. And to me, I look no further than one person, and that's Commanders offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Sometimes, like stated earlier, players find success against others when they shouldn't. While Bieniemy had success against the Eagles in years prior with an excellent team in the Chiefs, he has something still figured out when it comes to the Eagles. In 4 games against the Birds, listen to this, as an offensive coordinator, his teams have averaged 137 rushing yards, 287 passing yards with 13 touchdowns, and posted an average of 412 total yards in the 4 contests. Yes, Bieniemy has faced the Eagles with 2 different teams, and the Eagles have a different offensive coordinator than they had a year ago, or defensive coordinator, rather. But this really is the only rational solution that I can find. Bieniemy has their number, plain and simple. Maybe it is just that. But in the words of his former boss, Andy Reid, I say this to you, Eagles fans. Hey, let's just enjoy the win, everyone.
I'll tell you this. I'm done with Eric Bieniemy. I'm done. I don't want to see him again.
It's pretty impressive.
I respect the hell out of Eric Bieniemy, and he's not doing as well against other teams, which is just weird. As you point out, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
There's something there. I don't know if green's his favorite color, I don't know if he has a personal vendetta against Nick Sirianni that makes him just coach that much better in the week leading up to the game and the game itself. Honest to God, that the Eagles won a game yesterday that, people are saying, oh, my God, why are you being negative after a win? There's things to pick about, but I do. I just think Eric Bieniemy has their number. Last 4 games, 36 points a game he's averaging. And you're talking 2 of them with Sam Howell, quarterback.
It's unbelievable.
He's just got their number, and I don't know why, but he's got something.
And he had Gannon's number, and he has the size number.
Seems like it.
Maybe it's the talent that he's just got. Quickly, before we break, I want Isaiah to get in here out of West Philadelphia. Isaiah, good morning. You're on The Fanatic.
Good morning. How you doing?
Glad to have you on the show, Isaiah. What's your thoughts on the coordinators?
I honestly think that Brian Johnson actually did a good job this even though Washington is Washington. We've been complaining that, the play calling just doesn't seem right. Jalen doesn't seem right. They looked phenomenal yesterday. And on top of that, it's on the players to make the plays.
Thing is, though, why you get conversely, I'm just going to challenge it. Why does he keep dialing up Kenny Gainwell's number in the red zone when it's not been successful? That's on him. You know what I mean? That's on him.
Right. Yeah. There's now to the flip side, there's no reason why DeAndre Swift should have 1 carry in the first half.
I mean, it's ridiculous. We got to run, Isaiah. But I thought I was so happy to see when they did what did they call it? The fake tush push yesterday, which was awesome. And they actually handed off to DeAndre Swift in the red zone. DeAndre Swift should be the first option in the red zone every time at running back. Period.
Yeah, I was trying to look for more excuses yesterday as to why the Eagles might be having him in there. Now, Grant Calcaterra went down with a concussion early in the game, and they had to take him out. Good blocking tight end.
Yes.
Are they just so comfortable with Kenny Gainwell's blocking that they have to have him in there when your second tight end is hurt? I don't know. I don't get it. He doesn't appear to be running hard. He doesn't appear to be running smart. He's just running into a pile and hoping to get a couple of yards somehow, and that's the opposite of DeAndre Swift. We were at the bar yesterday, right? So we were at Maggie's on the waterfront, and we watched the first half of the game with friends. Mike from Delran came over. Karate Mark came. A lot of people. And you could hear the groan when Gainwell came into the game. People were like, oh, my God, what are they doing?
And then he fumbles.
And I just – Brian Johnson has to answer these questions. Why are you so married to Kenny Gainwell when the ball's inside the 20-yard line?
One of our listeners, Scott, has a theory that I may run with. He says, you know why Kenny Gainwell keeps getting all the love. He's afraid Brian Johnson thinks he's going to get ripped on Twitter. So that could be. Maybe Kenny's going to get I'm going to send some mean tweets your way. I have an alias. All right, coming up. Mark Schlereth did the game yesterday. He watched and studied the Eagles well and then called that exhausting game. I have a weird feeling you're going to feel so much better about your Eagles after you hear from Schlereth. He joins us next. Stick around. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hey, download the BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app. Download it, and you'll be in the zone. You can bet the bird. You got hoops with your Sixers. You got all things going on. And you got 24/7 online casino. Hey, it's a Football Monday on the Fanatic. Another victory, too. Best team in the NFL. Presented by Pierce Phelps Bryan Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaper.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. From working with this man in the past and doing radio shows with him, there were times where he'd say, like, Johnny, just calm down. You're reading too much into something. So the Eagles have the best record of the NFL. But right now, a lot of us are looking at the coordinators and saying things aren't right. So he did the game yesterday on Fox. Mark Schlereth joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day, and Comcast gets you ready for what's next. Are you going to be able to tell me to calm down today and feel really good about this 7-1 team? Because I feel good about them, but I don't feel like last year, Mark.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And, you know, you look at them comparably, like all the statistics, they're almost identical across the board other than the turnovers. And the turnovers are an issue. There's no question about that, Johnny, that they've got to be better when it comes to turning the ball over. But, you know, it's a real interesting thing for me because, you know, you sit down with Washington, and Washington has, you know, young quarterback and kind of underachieved to a degree. But there was quiet confidence and a quiet calm in playing the Eagles. And I'm not going to say it's because they found a weakness or they see something that the rest of us don't see. It's just because for whatever reason they've matched up well against the Eagles. And there are sometimes, no rhyme, no reason, where you just match up with the team, your players, your scheme, like it just matches up. Our strength happens to be, you know, something that's your weakness, and it's just one of those things. It's not, you can't really explain it. And I was in my days with Washington when I played in Washington. You know, the Philadelphia Eagles always had the number one defense in football, and it was back with Reggie White and Jerome Brown and Mike Pitts and Clyde Simmons and Byron Evans and, you know, on and on and on it goes. And they were phenomenal, and yet every time we played them, we matched up with them really well. Our scheme matched up with their scheme, and we ended up beating them. We ended up rushing the ball against them. We ended up doing things that nobody else could do. And then we turn around and play the Giants the next week, and they kick our ass. We couldn't beat the Giants. So it was just one of those kind of strange matchup things. And I think for Washington, they just match up well against Philadelphia. They just play them well. And it's just one of those things where you say, hey, man, that team, for whatever reason, just plays well against us.
Mark, when you see this Eagles team up close, what is the constant? At 7-1, you watch a game against Washington, and you described everything so well that sometimes it's just inexplicable. But what is the one constant? What do you think is the constant about the Eagles that, A, has led them to 7-1, and that, B, could carry them through to where we expect them to go?
I think they are the deepest shade of blue collar that you can possibly be. And as talented as they are on the outside, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Zacchaeus and Goddard, and as talented as they are in the backfield with Swift and with Hurts, they will line up and they will just physically dominate you on both sides of the ball. They are the biggest team I have ever. I was standing on the field, and
you felt small?
Landon Dickerson. What's that?
Did you feel small?
Yeah, I was standing on the field, and Landon Dickerson and my line by me, and I'm like, we're not even of the same species. Like I am tiny, and I think of myself as, hey, you know, I'm fairly big. And I was tiny, and you talk about all their guys. They are the biggest, most athletic football team that I have watched, and I tell you that I think they're pretty amazing. And if they just stop turning the ball over, I mean, even yesterday, you don't turn the ball over, and you probably beat Washington by 21 points, and it's never even close. But you turn it over a couple times in the red zone, you know, with a fumble by the back and then a fumble quarterback, and next thing you know, you're in this. You know, you're keeping another team in the game.
Mark Schlereth from Fox joining us. He did the game yesterday. We appreciate him jumping in this morning. Mark, I concentrate too much on style points. Style points at some point matter. Like at some point, by like mid-November, December, should style points matter at that point? Because I'm always told, you're worried about style points. You're worried about pretty. Just put the wins on the board.
Yeah, you know what, I'm more about the wins than I am the style points, but it's nice to blow some teams out. It's nice to look pretty while you're doing it. And, ultimately they will. I mean, A.J. Brown puts up style points every freaking weekend. The guy is amazing. And I will tell you, one thing is really interesting. I actually, myself, Christina Pink, our producer, Barry Landis, and our director, Mitch Riggin, we're having dinner Friday night. It's 10 o'clock at night, and we're like, let's take the train up to Philadelphia and go meet with the Eagles in person. And so we call Bob Lang and say, hey, dude, we're coming up. And he's like, hey, that's great. Because, they were busting down and they weren't going to they were going to be in Landover, Maryland. It's going to be a pain in the butt for us to get up there to talk to them. And I like to meet with people face to face. I don't like to meet with people over Zoom.
Right.
So, we jump on a train, spend our own money, jump on a train, roll up to Philly, roll over to the NovaCare Center, meet with everybody in person. We go to the practice, we watch them practice, and I'll tell you what, the connection between, us and the coaches and the players, and to listen to Jalen Hurts, there's some that talk about a lot of lip service about winning and, that's the only thing that matters to me. There is an authenticity about him that is just so real, man. And it's palpable. You can just feel it. And when he tells you, I don't care who I piss off. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who doesn't like it. I don't care. I don't care. You know what? Bottom line, all I want is the win, and it doesn't matter what it looks like. And he is, you've talked to him. The guy is stoic, and he's legit, man. He is legit, and that's the way he operates. And I think the whole team feeds off that.
Everything you say about just getting the win is exactly how we're trying to describe things here today. However, was there a time that you maybe grabbed the red and when you're looking at the Eagles and said, we got to keep an eye on this. This could be a problem moving on further with this team. Is there any sort of, I don't want to say problem, but is there anything that raised your eyebrow that you didn't like about the Eagles yesterday?
Well, obviously, like we talked about the turnovers, but and some of the inconsistencies, some of the busts in the secondary. But the bottom line to me, so a couple missed tackles, couple of, Bradbury jumping on a double move for a touchdown. But here's the deal. Like, you look at what Sean Desai is doing, and I'm a big Sean Desai fan. Like, I really like what he's all about. You've had 8 different starting combinations in your secondary in 8 games. Like, communication is going to be an issue at some point, and they've got to rectify that, and they've got to figure that out. And that's just one of those things that I looked at. I think as an offense, everybody just thinks you're going to stop, and Nick Sirianni pointed this out to me. Everybody just thinks you're going to pick up where you left off. And essentially you've got a new coordinator. You got to have a new feel between your quarterback and your play caller. He's figuring it out as well. And all the while, you're not just picking up where you left off. You're starting over again. You've got to do the work again. You got to start over, and of course you're starting from a different place, and you've got some some things built up. But the bottom line is you're kind of starting over again, and you got to put the work in again. So I just appreciate they've got a workman's attitude. And as I said in the open yesterday, how do you want us to beat you? Do you want us to physically run it down your throat? Do you want us to get to the edge and finesse you? Do you want us to throw it short or throw it deep? We can do all those things. But the bottom line is they're going to win from the inside out. They believe in building their team that way, and they believe at the end of the day, that's what's going to carry them. And I agree with them.
I used to think that the Cowboys and the 49ers were the only threats to the Eagles getting the number 1 seed. Detroit plays tonight. How legit do you think they are? You've had one of their games this year, I believe, already, right?
Yeah.
And so how legit are they? And more importantly, now that the 49ers have 3 losses, this week, I think this is the foot on the throat week. Beat Dallas, and you're pretty much you're in the real driver's seat.
Yeah, but that said, their schedule coming down the stretch here in the next 5 games or whatever, because they have they have Dallas twice. I think they have
Chiefs, Bills, 49ers, Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. It's tough. So, and again, this is where I think they have an advantage over anybody in the league. Their rotation on their D line and just the size and physicality with which they play, and their dominance of their offensive line, and they are dominant. There's always a few things that make me nervous. Like there's so many things I hate about shotgun and running your entire offense out of shotgun. There's so many things I don't like about it. And they're one of the few teams that I look at and go, they're okay because they're so good up front. I mean, they really are that good up front. So, little things about shotgun that drive me crazy, John, is when you're not under center, it takes about 0.4 of a second longer for the back to get the line of scrimmage. So your O-line has to hold their blocks a little bit longer. It doesn't really concern me with Philly. It does with Washington, does with a bunch of other teams, but not so much Philly. It's, hey, man, it telegraphs which way you're running the ball about 60% of the time. You're going to run away from the offset back. It concerns me with every other team because they'll pinch that way, fall back with their linebackers when they force you to cut back. It just doesn't concern me with Philly because they're so big, they're so strong, they're so physical. So there's a lot of things that concern me with a lot of teams. I just lose some of those concerns with Philly because of the way they're built, the way they've been put together, and just their size, strength, and athleticism. The combination is unique, and they're the fastest team that I watch on tape without question.
Mark, one of the things that has the ire of fans here in Philadelphia is whether it's offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni, whatever it may be, but it's their love affair with Kenny Gainwell being in the backfield inside the 20-yard line. Hasn't really worked much this year. Their red zone offense hasn't been all that great. Why would a team be married to, and if you know specifically why Gainwell, that's great, but why would a team be married to a running back in that situation?
I'm not 100% sure why Swift isn't in there more. And maybe it's simply because they feel really confident in Kenny Gainwell as far as, the run-pass combination and him as a receiver. But, I really don't know, John. We were talking about it in the booth during the break is like, hey, man, like it just feels like as hard as Swift runs and as physical as Swift is, that he feels like a more natural fit down there in the red zone. But I can't answer the question.
They're not telling. They're not sharing that with you, I guess.
No. I mean, it just is. It just falls into the rotation or whatever. But and I don't know if they just feel like, hey, man, we like to be multiple in the backfield. And we want to use all three. We want to use Boston Scott and Gainwell, and we want to use Swift. And I don't know if there's a certain package that they just think he's better at. But it is one to me that I talked about during a commercial break. It was absolutely chaotic in the booth because my telestrator broke and worked from the word go. So I had technicians, working and guys under the desk trying to fix it. And, and you're trying to call a game and you're kind of calling it blind. And so it was a kind of a chaotic thing. But, it was something that we did talk about during a commercial break amongst the chaos.
Mark, always appreciate your kindness making time for us, and we look forward to having you back. Hopefully you might get another one down the stretch, another Eagle game.
I would love to, man. I'm a big fan of what they're doing, and hey, you know what? As soon as they stop turning the ball over, Johnny,
yes,
they're going to start clicking, and Eagle fans are going to have to find something else to piss and moan about.
Well, the Phillies. We're doing that with the Phillies.
By the way, I love you guys because I love Philly fans because as soon as you get done doing a game, and I was geeked up about the way Sam Howell was playing, and I was geeked about the way Washington played. You guys, I wanted a good game, and it was from a broadcasting standpoint, it was a great game, and. I flip on Eagle fan is all over it. You freaking homer! You suck! You're the worst! Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I did my job. These guys hate me, and I love it.
Did a great job. Thanks, buddy. I miss you. Take care of yourself, bud.
Yeah, me you too, buddy. Take care, Johnny.
Thank man. Mark Schlereth joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Comcast Business, get you ready for what's next. Bob, you and Schlereth have a similar obsession. I had meant to bring it up with you two on the air. You have a similar obsession.
What's that?
Nobody, you may be two guys I've worked with in my life who love yard work. He's obsessed with it.
Oh, yeah?
He will not hire someone to do any yard work.
Good job, Mark.
He does. He edges his own lawn. He cuts his own lawn.
Nothing like some dirt under the fingernails, John.
He fertilizes. He plants trees. By the way, his dad, who's a beast, his father is a freaking beast. He's like 80 years old, and he's a beast. He's jacked from Alaska. He's out there planting trees with him, doing yard work. Like, Mark is obsessed with his yard. He's like, look. He used to send me texts going, look how perfect this is when he's done. Bob loves the sweat, Brendan. During the heat of the summer, it'll be 92. We'll be watching Karen Rodgers in the morning. It'll be like, oh, it's going to be 93 today. And Bob's like, oh, I'm doing yard work today. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting in air conditioning or I'm going to a pool.
Got to sweat.
Seriously. He's all over it, which is great. Hey, the game yesterday was absolutely amazing. And I know that this man was on site, one of our jurors, and the first one to check in today. E-Rock joins us. E-Rock, hand on the Bible, dude. You look like you were having some fun yesterday. Did you have fun during the game is the question.
Oh, yeah. I had a blast during the game. Apparently, Eagles games are like a box of chocolate. You never know exactly what you're going to get, but whichever one you pick, it's going to give you agita. I don't know how this team goes from losing to a team that barely beat the Giants in overtime to dominating the Miami Dolphins to then looking the way they did against a 3-win Washington team. But either way, all I can say is somehow this Philadelphia Eagles team, in looking ugly, can look beautiful, because you saw Julio Jones catch his first touchdown. You saw A.J. Brown break the record, and you saw them come from behind. Granted, it took them to the fourth quarter to wake up, but then you saw them come from behind. And right now, being an Eagles fan is absolutely feeling amazing. Two major concerns here.
Okay.
Bradbury is not having a great season.
No.
And number two, I need Brian Johnson to not come down with a case of the Dugs and forget how to run the ball. I know he's got all these nice, shiny toys, but do not forget to establish the run and always up front.
Good job, E-Rock.
Thanks, E.
Take care, buddy. A case of the Dugs. I love that. Because that is a part of it. I said it yesterday. I tweeted it out a couple times. Bradbury's getting exploited yesterday.
Yeah, he didn't look terrific.
And during the offseason, when we talked about building this team and moving forward and everything, I had said over and over that I wasn't comfortable with bringing back both corners. I said, pick one. I don't like having two of the oldest corners in the NFL. And at times, it looks like it's being exploited.
Well, you know what's weird, and I talked about it last week, about how impressed I was with the Eagles' defense against Miami and how they had like a concentrated effort of don't let their speed kill you. Box them in, keep in front. And I said the whole defense looked faster than I thought they were against Miami. They really looked good, and it was a concentrated effort of don't get beat with their speed, and they didn't.
Correct.
And then yesterday, they did. They got beat by Washington's speed. And it was different. I think Miami likes to go vertical more, and Washington goes horizontal a little bit more.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, that's how they were getting beat, crossing stuff. There was other stuff over the middle. But, yeah, the secondary, it's still a question. I mean, we can't mask it. It's a question. You had two starting safeties that didn't start the week before. I think that's been just about every week with this team.
Bradbury, he was targeted yesterday. And that's not saying Slay had a great game either. I think Slay had an okay game at times, but I expected more out of both of them. But I did not want to go with the two having like two of the oldest corners in the NFL as a pair. I didn't think that's a great strategy, but I'm sure the Eagles will address it in time. But hopefully they can get some more people healthy. I'm interested to hear more about, maybe Andrew DiCecco will know a little more from Inside the Birds. He'll join us at the top of the hour. A little bit about Jalen Carter leaving the game with the back spasms.
Yeah.
As they said. I worry about back spasms, Bob, because I've watched you in back pain, and I've had a little bit of it during chemo. I've never really had back pain, and the back pain to me has been like, are you kidding me? This sucks.
Yeah.
Now I know what you deal with.
Spasms are better than anything else. Spasms are better than, the discs and stuff like that.
What is it?
The spasms are muscles that are just contracting and causing that pain, and that can be worked out, whether it's heat, all of that stuff. You can try to get rid of the spasms. It could be from dehydration also, all of those kind of things. The disc thing is what you hope it's not, obviously, with anybody, and that's what I struggle with a couple of discs that are out of place. But, concerning in that spasms, usually they could work it out. A trainer could work them out. So the fact that he stayed out the rest of the game, it's something you got to keep an eye on.
And maybe you decide at that point, do you decide with an asset like him to just play it safe? Is
maybe
that part of it?
Back spasms and there's so many people out there listening right there that have had them. It just takes your breath away. Like, it's debilitating.
Oh, it's awful.
It'll stop you steps, and I can't imagine for a guy that big, if he's having them, that like I said, it could just stop you. So I don't know if they were being cautious or if he just couldn't go.
Nothing stops our juror Karen B from sharing her opinion. We've heard from E-Rock. Karen checking in. Karen, how was the agita level yesterday, as Mark Schlereth put it?
Well, another nail biter and more gray hair. How's that?
But you still look great, though. That's all that's important.
Thanks, John. Hey, I'm going negative first, but then I have some positives.
Okay.
You know what? We got the win, but honestly, we were lucky. We were lucky to get it with the 2 fumbles in the red zone. And definitely not enough pressure on Sam Howell. I mean, he had almost 400 yards passing, I think. I think I'm pretty close to that. And they didn't really blitz on him. And they got away from the run game again. And I know we were playing from behind. But Swift, I think he had one carry. We had a big party last night, so I didn't watch the game as close as I could have. But I think Swift only had one carry in the first quarter.
Yeah, it wasn't enough, Karen.
No.
And what the party was good, I take it.
Oh, the party was lots of fun. We made frozen pina coladas, and
wow,
it was great.
You're not supposed to be impaired as a juror.
I wasn't, John. I was watching.
Okay.
With straight eyes.
Thank you, Karen. We'll talk to you after the Dallas game next Monday.
Yeah, Karen makes a good point. 20 pass attempts to 4 runs in the first half.
That was crazy.
Yeah, they do.
That's what I'm talking about.
14-3, understand, but there's no time to panic with this team.
No.
And at times it did. I think we were still at the bar when I was like, I think it was Karate Mark saying, why aren't they running the ball? They just seem to get away from things sometimes that are kind of inexplicable. Actually, I'm wrong. 4 rushes to 25 pass attempts in the first half.
And that's ridiculous.
They ran it 4 times for 6 yards.
That's, oh my God, we're down 14-3. Oh my God, we gotta throw the ball. We gotta throw the ball.
And it's
panic.
hard.
That's panic of a young coordinator.
It may be, but it's hard to argue with this offense. If we're, our ire's going to go anywhere, it's the Sam Howell and all that stuff. I mean, they put up 38 more points.
Yeah.
Like, this can just score, and at the end of the day, I had panic attacks with the game yesterday for some reason. I felt like the Eagles could score whenever they wanted. I was more concerned with the defensive side of the ball. Like, all right, what's going on here?
I kept saying they will not lose. My wife's just going. First of all, by the way, YouTube TV yesterday. God, they had a terrible day. They had a terrible day yesterday. It was glitching all the time. It was just not good. They got it fixed later in the game, but it was glitching. So that was driving me crazy. Then the game itself, and my wife going, are they going to lose? I said, no, they're not going to lose this game. Promise you. They didn't. Hey, we got a jurors checking in. We'll hear from them. Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds at the top of the hour. How do the Eagles, the banged-up Eagles, get ready for the Cowboys on Sunday night? John Kincade Show here on 97.5, The Fanatic. I love H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. I love the fact that this is the company that we trust to make sure our HVAC system is working at peak efficiency 24/7. Just last week, they came and did our fall treatment. getting us ready, making sure we're ready for the fall and the cold winter ahead. Plus, they changed out the filter on our air scrubber and did more on that. Boy, that air scrubber, if you have allergies or you just want your house to smell fresh, everyone who comes in our house goes, boy, your house smells so clean. That air scrubber works, and it's awesome. Check out DelcoHVAC.com, though, right now, because you can schedule a gas furnace tune-up for just $79, including a free carbon monoxide check. And if you need a new system, you know you've been putting it off, you can ask about special financing or up to $1,200 in rebates on qualifying systems that are subject to credit approval. See the dealer for details. That's H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. They're an independent trained dealer. They're DelcoHVAC.com on the web, but they go to Chester County, they go to Montgomery County, Philadelphia, South Jersey, Delaware. Let them make you a customer for life. That's DelcoHVAC.com.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Move over Calvin Johnson. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. The Eagles knocked off the Washington Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31. The team struggled early on, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team for the second time this season. A.J. Brown the history books by becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record 6 straight games of 125 receiving yards or more. He passed Calvin Johnson on that list. Jalen Hurts also threw for 300 yards for the 11th time in his career, also totaling 4 touchdown passes. The 76ers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers last night by a score of 126-98. The team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points and brought in 15 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey scored 26 points of his own, and Tobias Harris checked in with 24. The Sixers will be back in action Thursday night when the Toronto Raptors visit the Wells Fargo Center for the team's second meeting against the Sixers so far. The Flyers look to get back in the win column tonight when they take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. You can hear that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Also, Mark Schlereth just joined the show. Catch that up on our website soon. And Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds will be joining the show at 8 a.m. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Andrew Salchunas, all things Philadelphia sports. Touchdown! Coming up this morning at 10, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, it's John Kincade for the American Association for Cancer Research. And you know, as a 2-time cancer survivor that is soon hoping to make it a threesome, I know firsthand that donations supporting cancer research are the key to finding a cure. That's why I'm excited about the AACR's First Time Donor Match Challenge. And it runs through the end of the year. All first-time donators received today through December 31st will be matched for twice the impact. So no amount's too small. Every dollar counts twice during the challenge period. And your support helps propel the work of the next generation of people that are pioneering cancer research. Collaboration is critical to making new discoveries, diagnosing, treating, and one day curing cancer. So if you've never donated to the AACR, now's the perfect time because your dollars will go twice as far thanks to the AACR's First Time Donor Match Challenge. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic and give what you can. I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives, and I'm hoping that the third time's a charm.
My daughter is normally a little goofball, but after a bad night's sleep, she's too tired to be anything. That's why I trust Pure Z's Kids. Pure Z's Kids is mindfully formulated just for kids. They're non-habit forming, drug-free products help my daughter fall asleep naturally, giving her the rest to be her best.
Dinosaur.
Her best
These kids for ages 4 and up when needed. Sequel.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Drug Administration. This product is not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Jessica, this is the happiest day of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV and insured it with Progressive. Man, I love that thing. There are a million fish in the sea, which I'm reminded of every time I bring my RV to the lake, but I vow to love and cherish you just as much as I cherish campsites with full electric and water hookups. I'm so sorry.
Protect your beloved with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, Click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, buy a 5-quart jug and get a free STP Extended Life Oil Filter. That's right, free. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need, when you need them, at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Hello, Avello. Hello, low fares. Do you know Avello Airlines? Did you know there's a new way to fly south for the winter? Avello is now flying out of Wilmington Airport with nonstop flights to over 10 cities, including 7 cities in Florida, Nashville, the Carolinas, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Gotta love it. Say hello to low fares, affordable parking, industry-leading reliability, and convenience. And with fares as low as $34 one way, why are you waiting? Fly Wilmington, fly Avello, and book your next trip at AvelloAir.com. That's AVELOAIR.com today.
The AAA Eagles MVP membership is in full flight. Eagles MVP members receive all of the amazing benefits of AAA, along with Eagles rewards experiences no Eagles fans miss. Get discounts at chances to win tickets to every home game, pre-game sideline passes, exclusive invites to MVP events, and more. Join now, and new members will get a $20 gift card to the Eagles Online Pro Shop, and you'll be immediately eligible to win Eagles rewards. Go to AAA.com/Eagles for details and join the flock today.
Hey, imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. Well, guess what? You get that. With FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. You play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. You'll see why FanDuel Casino's the #1 rated online casino app. So many great to do with their daily and weekly promotions. When you play with a live dealer. And if there's ever any questions you may have, well, they have an in-class customer support team that's there to help you all the time. So sign up for FanDuel Casino with FanDuel.com/Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's FanDuel.com/Bob. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania, must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5, The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5, The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
It's a football Monday on The Fanatic. You know what that means. It's presented by Pierce Phelps, Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com. Get flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds joins us after the top of the hour. I'm hoping to get a little word on this injury situation. And what do you say, Bob? It's hurt and injured, right? Or is it if someone's hurt or someone's injured?
I always get the two confused. You can play hurt, but you can't play injured.
Like, I mean, is it
There's something? I don't know.
Before the game yesterday, what's his name? I tweeted out his comments exactly. I played it back.
Jay Glazer?
Jay Glazer. And he flat out said, Jalen Hurts will be fine. He has a bone bruise. He's been dealing with it for 4 weeks before last week when he took another hit on it during the game, got a helmet on it, and it hurt him again. So he said he is dealing with it. He will be fine. I had not heard bone bruise like pretty much being the only issue all week. And he was adamant. Jay Glazer was adamant. He's fine. That's how he ended it with. And he sort of said it that way. He's fine. And he didn't look fine, though, coming down the field later on. He just looked a little hobbled, a little sore.
Yeah, he's fine is like I said yesterday on the air. When you do tests and it comes back bone bruise, that is a sigh of relief. That is jubilation among an organization to know that there's not ligament damage in there. So, yes, that's good. Does it hurt? Sure it does. Will it get better? Yes, and you don't have to do anything to it to get better, except try not to get it hit. I can understand why the Eagles, if this is indeed what it is, and we don't have any reason to believe it's not, I can see why the Eagles didn't bring it up because of bone bruise on the knee. Okay, well, physical sport, how many times are you going to try to put a shoulder pad or a helmet on that knee to try to get him out of a game? So I understand why the Eagles didn't want it out there.
Hey, Dante in the Northeast joins us. Dante, hand on the Bible this morning. I need real talk from you.
Good morning, boys. How we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, yeah. 7-1. Feels pretty good.
7-1 feels great. So I loved what I saw yesterday. I'm going to put it straightforward like this. I saw an offensive coordinator where he got down early and he panicked. But the reason why I loved what I saw was because I saw my quarterback not get diminished or not get afraid, or the spot was not too big for him. He stepped up. He made the plays. Brian Johnson just completely faded away DeAndre Swift in the run game, completely faded away Kenny Gainwell in the run game, and just put everything on Jalen's shoulders. And Jalen just took advantage and did what he did.
He's got broad shoulders, doesn't he?
Yeah, and this man squats 600 pounds for a reason because the way he carried his team yesterday, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
He looked MVP-ish again. He really did.
We saw some flashes of last year's Jalen. I love it. So, John, just to give you like an idea of back spasms.
Okay.
A few months ago, I got really sick, and my body was so dehydrated that like Bob said, the back spasms will come if you're dehydrated. I was severely dehydrated to where I had to take myself to the ER when my wife had to drive me.
Oh my gosh!
But it's something that could be like you get some IV fluid, then you'll be good.
Good job, my man. I know I have. I came in for a 1 day or 2 day period during this process of the chemo. I said, "Oh my gosh, Bob, my back hurts," and I've seen Bob deal with it so often. I can't imagine playing football with it.
No, spasms, yeah. The good, like I said, the good thing is spasms will go. It's a muscle contraction. It's, could be like Kohler was just saying, Dante, dehydration, all of that stuff. That's good. You don't want to hear, like Fletcher Cox, if he was 10 years younger and we were hearing epidural, that would scare me a little bit. Now, later in his career, that's what he needs to get done to be available for the next week. Okay, you understand that. Spasms, it's almost like a bone bruise. It's a sigh of relief. Okay, spasms is muscular. We can take care of that.
We'll talk to Andrew DiCecco in just a few minutes, but I want you to hear from Jalen Hurts yesterday after the game. He was asked whether it was his best game.
Jalen, do you feel like that's the best you've played this year?
Must be you asking me.
How's your knee?
I'm here. I'm really happy how we persevered and, how resilient we were today. I'm happy we won. I'm here. I told you guys I really wasn't speaking on it anymore. I'm out there.
He talked about coming back in the game, too, after they dug themselves a hole. Feisty Jalen was a little salty yesterday.
I think obviously there were some circumstances in the game that were not favorable for us. We would not have liked for it to happen, but I think we overcame it. And so it's just about the mentality that we have, coming out from where it's at go and being the team we know we are. Much credit to the Washington Commanders as they always give us a good fight. They always come out there and play hard. I know the front seven very well. That's a great team over there, and Sam Howell had a hell of a game as well.
Do you like salty Jalen? I don't think he was pleased with their performance.
Oh, God, no.
So I think that was part of it.
I don't think he's very often pleased with their performance, at least not in front of the media. He doesn't want to gloat. He doesn't want to say, yeah, that was the best game I played. He's very measured when it comes to answering questions after games. And usually with players, when they're done the games and the emotions are still running high, you don't get that amount of measuredness. But he has it, and he never lets it go. And it's like Schlereth said earlier, man, that guy's just tuned in.
He loves him.
And yeah,
he loves him.
So that's what you're going to get from Jalen Hurts pretty much all the time. How's your knee? I'm not talking about it. Was that your best performance? Well, you're asking me, so it must have been.
I don't like that question to a player. He doesn't want to answer that. want you to say it. Like he said, it must have been because you're saying it or something. His answer. I know that Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds likes getting to the nitty-gritty of why they win, why they lose occasionally, and more importantly, what might be problems under the hood. He joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline, where every day in business is a big day, and Comcast gets for what's next. So, Andrew, welcome. But 7-1, they beat Dallas on Sunday night. They'll be 8-1, just like last year, heading into a bye. Does this team resemble the 2022 team to you, and why or why not?
Man, FedEx Field almost resembled a house of horrors. The Eagles, they're able to pull that one out. But, yeah, man, I would say that it does resemble the 2022 team in many regards. But I would also say that this team still has yet to hit their stride. I mean, they're still turnover plagued, and they starting out a little bit slow. But I think they have a lot of different weapons they can tap into. And, look, the trade deadline looms large in the next 24 hours. I'm interested to see if the Eagles look to make a move to even make the team even more ready to contend for a championship.
Andrew, last week I was so impressed with the Eagles' defense against the Miami Dolphins and how they kind of kept the speedy team intact. This week, that wasn't there. What was the biggest difference to you in the defensive performance from last week against Miami to this one against Washington?
You know, Bob, I think it had a lot to do with, and I mentioned this to someone in the press box, I think it had a lot to do with the game plan and Sam Howell's execution and Eric Bieniemy conjuring a sound tactical plan to really get the ball out of his hands quickly, neutralize a ferocious Eagles pass rush, and work the short to intermediate levels of the field, which has been problematic for the Eagles. And they were able to establish a rhythmic offense and move the football effectively. And the Eagles really couldn't do much about it. I thought they were going to get at least 7 sacks yesterday, and they didn't get one until in the fourth quarter, where Hassan Reddick has really become the closer for this team.
Yes. I can tell you right now, I'm thinking about the little concept you just put in our head about the Eagles improving this team. Does it have to be secondary, or do you see potentially some other place that Howie would like to add another body?
Well, my first inclination was to say that they should address slot corner, but they have 3 different guys there. Bradley Roby's coming back. So if I'm looking at it, they already addressed safety. I think that you need to see if there is another viable solution to linebacker that you can kind of plug in there and you can get a 4-man rotation, because I think that might be an area that teams are going to look to exploit as they move further into the season. I thought yesterday you see teams throw it to Zach Cunningham. The pass coverage is not his forte. Nakobe Dean got targeted quite a bit, and that's going to be an area that teams look, it's on tape now, and they're going to target the second and middle of the third level of the Eagles defense until the Eagles prove they can stop it. And usually, the pass rush and coverage they work in tandem, and yesterday it really didn't.
Andrew, it's been kind of the season-long question about this running back rotation. And maybe the fate was sealed yesterday when Gainwell gets a fumble down there to the goal line. But what is the thinking there? Why is it that they are so in love with Kenny Gainwell inside of the 20-yard line?
It was just as puzzling to me to see them go away from their most explosive runner in DeAndre Swift and really lean on Kenny Gainwell. Look, Kenny Gainwell is in the game because they trust him, especially in situational circumstances, and he fumbles the ball inside the 5-yard line. That's why he's a prominent piece of their rotation. And unfortunately for the Eagles, he didn't come up. He didn't hold up his end, and you saw them lean on DeAndre Swift in the second half, and to favorable results. But I would probably like to see a little bit more Boston Scott if you're the Eagles, because I think he provides a little bit more, one, in pass protection, ball security, receiving. I think he does all those things right now, at least, better than Kenny Gainwell, who has sort of tailed off over the past few weeks.
I don't want to think about looking ahead too much because we're still celebrating that win from yesterday, even though it was agitating. But I always like I like the Eagles versus the Cowboys with Nick Sirianni. And I like this team and the way that I've seen them with the Cowboys. But every year, it seems like this is going to end up being a split. That Christmas Eve game last year was highly entertaining, the shootout back and forth, and that was with the Eagles' backup quarterback. Do you think Dallas is better this year? Have you gotten a chance to really check out anything on the video of what Dallas is bringing to the table?
Yeah, John, talent-wise, they are better, but they've been wildly inconsistent. They looked really good yesterday, but this week, to me, just screams a game where they just don't live up to or play up to expectations. And the Eagles really do behind a very lively crowd, I would imagine, at Lincoln Financial Field Sunday at 4:30. Dak is always a threat to really dink and dunk his way down the field, and you saw Sam Howell be able to execute that to great success on Sunday. But I think the Eagles have a recipe for success against Dallas, and this is a game where I envision the pass rush really coming alive. We thought that was going to happen yesterday, but I think they're going to be able to get after Dak and neutralize a lot of his weapons. But CeeDee Lamb, I mean, what did he have, 160 yards yesterday? I mean, if you allow them enough time, they will continue to pick apart the secondary.
Is Jalen Carter potentially a problem for with his back issues yesterday?
Well, I think obviously it's concerning, but it's a little too early to sound the alarm. We'll find out more Wednesday, but obviously not having him in the lineup is crucial for Dallas, and it could be detrimental to the Eagles. Obviously, he's a game wrecker in the middle of that line and really poses problems for opposing quarterbacks, getting them off their spot and really hastening their reads and forcing erratic throws. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Andrew, we heard yesterday from Jay Glazer reporting, and it's the first time I heard it, maybe you guys wrote it that I missed it, that it's a bone bruise for Jalen Hurts. As this goes on, we first noticed it a couple weeks ago. As this injury goes on, do you think it's getting worse? Do you think he's slowing down at all, or is it just something he's got to deal with?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because throughout the season you couldn't help but notice, and you can notice it. Anyone can notice that he seemed a little bit slower running in the open field. But to me, I don't see it as a hindrance. I think he's more cognizant of it. I think the Eagles are more cognizant of it. He only carried the ball 4 times yesterday, 2 of which were kneel downs. He ran on a 3rd and 7 converted in a must-have situation, but I think he's more apt to play within the pocket and from there. And I think he'll run when necessary, but I don't know that it'll be a hindrance. And I didn't see him sort of trying to compensate for it in any way yesterday, at least, on my initial watch.
I think you made us feel better about the Eagles, too. I don't know if you heard Mark Schlereth with us earlier. I had talked to him last night, and I knew that he'd make everybody feel better about that win. I mean, 7-1, 7-1. And if you put the foot in the throat of the Cowboys Sunday night, I got to think the division race is almost over. Almost.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, slamming the door on Dallas and making a statement on Sunday would definitely ease some concern going into the bye week, and I think that's where you're going to see the team really hit their stride. And that's what I would imagine. Look, it's tough to win in this league. You always hear that, and sometimes that's a throwaway quote, but it really is. You got out of FedEx Field with a win. That game was sort of it wasn't atypical. It was atypical to what the Eagles have really been able to do, and go out there and prove what you're able to do against Dallas. And I think that'll certainly quell some concerns, John.
Andrew, we love having you on, and thank you so much for making time for us today, buddy.
Oh, of course. Talk soon, man.
All right, we will. Andrew. Check out Andrew DiCecco, Inside the Birds. Great video breakdowns, great written analysis. You can check it out. All the crew with Inside the Birds, they do a really, really fine job. But we appreciate Andrew joining us on the Comcast Business Hotline. I want you to hear from A.J. Brown. And A.J. Brown, after the game, people are talking about, you just set an NFL record. You're in the record books of all time. Like Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. You're beyond all of them. He didn't want to talk about it at all.
I can just say I really haven't had time to really digest what happened, but most importantly, I'm so happy we just got this win. It really wasn't going our way at first, but we found a way, and I think that was huge for this team. So
now I have a buddy who does sports talk radio in Nashville. He heard him talk about that, and he said, "This is not the A.J. Brown that we saw most often with the Titans."
Yeah, winning makes people better.
And that's part of it, right? I mean, and he talked about it with Kevin Byard the other day, saying, "Welcome. Now you're with a winner. Now you're with a winner."
I am not taking anything away from A.J. Brown, and I don't know the way he acted when he was down in Tennessee. It's just a generic quote. Yeah, winning makes people happier, makes them better people, makes everybody, like each other more, all of those things. What doesn't he have to be happy about? I mean, he is just kicking this league's ass right now.
It's unbelievable. It truly is
so good.
You remember 2004, where in 14 games, T.O. got 1,200 yards. 14 touchdowns, too, by the way, I think, that year, which was a monster year. This looks different level to me, though. This looks a whole new level to me.
Yeah, and the cool part about it is we've talked about it like, oh, man, Devontae Smith isn't getting included and all that. Devontae Smith also went for 100 yards yesterday, or 99, whatever.
99, yeah.
He's still going to be a 1,000-yard receiver and have 70 catches or whatever.
He's got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
he's gonna get his.
He absolutely is going to get his, and he's great also. This receiving tandem that you have here, and look, if Julio Jones came here to catch a touchdown every once in a while and win a ring, man, that's pretty cool. That in the first game, Jalen Hurts has that kind of confidence in him that boom, he fires a bullet into the end zone, he gets it, and the reaction by the team on it. Julio Jones resonated with this team in just a week's time for some reason.
Exactly.
You saw it. So there's so much to like, especially about this Eagles offense. Now, the defense has to shore up some things. We know that. We knew that coming into the season. Schlereth told us so, and Andrew just said so now. So maybe something happens by this trade deadline that tells you that.
Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, I think. I think tomorrow at 3.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Halloween.
I was watching the game a little bit last night, and you see was it the last night's game? Yeah, for Chicago, TJ Edwards making plays, making really good plays.
He really is.
Yeah, you just you kind of miss that there. Now, are you going to be patient enough to let it grow there with the Nakobe Dean and others? Maybe. That would be the position, though. If they are going to get something, I agree with Andrew that I think it would be a linebacker.
I say Grugier Hill, maybe a return visit to Philadelphia. Could that be, somebody that they make a move on, that he could potentially be? He's with the Carolina Panthers. He's in no man's land, and reportedly he's a guy that they would consider moving on from if they could pick up just a little more draft capital. Is that the kind of guy who potentially comes back? His name's sort of buzzing this morning in Charlotte as some teams are interested in him, and the Panthers wouldn't really care about sending him on. They're trying to get the number 1 pick in the draft, but they already drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. It is. It's just terrible. And now it's just now you got 2 teams. If my team was 0-6, I swear I'd be saying lose. I'll put up with this losing year to get the benefits down the line. Stop winning. Stop. Hey, by the way, this great one, I think Statman Ark dug this up. Eagles' all-time record right now is 620 wins, 631 losses, and 27 ties. Donovan McNabb didn't realize that 27 of those things could happen, by the way. It's the closest that they have been to 500 as a franchise since September 13th, 1936, when they beat the New York Giants 10-7 and improved to 10-21-1 as a franchise. This is the closest they have been to 500, 11 games under. Nick Sirianni's going to clean that up. He'll clean that up by next year. By next year, he'll manage to do. Now, Andy Reid gets a lot of credit for that, too. Doug Peterson gets some credit for that, too. But honestly, it'll be a Reid-Sirianni thing that helped to swing that to get this team to 500, which is great. Hey, 610-632-0975. Jurors. But again, you've heard from Mark Schlereth. You heard from Andrew DiCecco. Are you feeling better now? Because I'll be honest with you. Talking to both of those guys, I definitely feel better about the ability to overcome those hassles. But you may not. 610-632-0975. It's the John Kincade Show here on 97.5, The Fanatic. I want you to download the BetParks Casino and Sportsbook app because I want you to be able to get involved in a ton of games. You can bet the birds. You can bet the local hoops. There's even hockey to be able to get on with you now. And also, too, the 24/7 online casino action, which allows you to play some games. I've been learning more about Texas Hold'em, playing a little Texas Hold'em on the BetParks app. Here's a great thing for you. New users only, get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. It's for new users only. You got to wager that bonus when you get it. And the terms and conditions do apply. You'll love that. But I love the fact that I have college football on Saturdays, pro football on Sundays. I've got the Sixers during the week. There's so much on the BetParks app. And if I'm sitting in a doctor's office, little $1 blackjack, it does the heart well. Hey, you got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatics Sports Update.
Alone at the top. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Indeed.com. You don't need a job platform. You need a hiring partner. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all in one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. The NFL best 7-1 Eagles knocked off the Washington Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31. The team struggled early on, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team for the second time this season. A.J. Brown moved into the history books, becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record six straight 125-yard game receiving or more. Passing Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. Jalen Hurts also threw 300 yards for the 11th time in his career, while also tossing 4 touchdowns. The NFL trade deadline's tomorrow at 4. Let's see if the Eagles add anybody to their team at that point. The 76ers defeated the Portland Trailblazers last night by a score of 126-98 in the team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid's availability heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points while bringing in 15 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey also checked in with 26, Tobias Harris 24. The Sixers will be back in Thursday night when they take on the Toronto Raptors for the season. The Flyers look to get back in the win tonight. Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. You can hear that 7-5 The Fanatic. Andrew DiCecco just checked. You can hear that update shortly on our website. Keep it locked here for all the latest news information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Flyers, Sixers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia Flyers season is here. The anticipation for the future is positive. Follow the Flyers all season right here with play-by-play and more. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fingles, founder of New Look Home Design.
And I'm Jess Fingles, manager at New Look Home Design.
What are you doing here, Jess?
Well, little brother, I'm doing the same thing you've been doing for over 20 years, offering a fantastic deal on roofing from a fantastic company.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, people refer to me as the better Fingles. So I figure I should give people an even better deal on roofing. Right now, save 50% on all roofing materials, plus get a staggering 5 years interest-free financing. And lastly, we'll throw in a manufacturer Golden Pledge warranty.
What are you doing, Jess? That's crazy.
Well, Pat, as manager of New Look, I see things differently than you. I'm responsible for a great customer experience. I ensure every job goes smooth. And now I'm ensuring everyone gets the best deal.
Sounds like you really are the better Fingles. Don't wait. Call 800-279-5300 or visit newlookhomedesign.com. Better deals from the better Fingles.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects at the injection site, fatigue, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need some headlight bulbs.
You can earn a $10 bonus reward when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs.
Get in zone.
Wait, my wiper blades are streaking too. I need some new ones.
Right now, you can earn a $15 bonus reward when you buy 2 Rain X Quantum wiper blades. With new blades and bulbs, you'll see better on the road.
Get in zone,
Wow, how do you remember all these deals?
Call it Second Sight.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Offer valid for AutoZone Rewards members. Restrictions apply.
It's Macy's Friends and Family. Get ready for the holidays with an extra 30% off brands that rarely go on sale with your coupon or Macy's card. And take 15% off fragrance, skincare, makeup, and more great beauty gift ideas. Or shop specials they'll love while supplies last, now at Macy's. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply. Find something so you at Macy's Friends and Family.
My daughter is normally a little goofball. But after a bad night's sleep, she's too tired to be anything. That's why I trust Pure Z's Kids. Pure Z's Kids is mindfully formulated just for kids. Their non-habit forming, drug-free products help my daughter fall asleep naturally, giving her the rest to be her best.
I'm a dinosaur.
Her best dinosaur.
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up when needed. Explore our products at ZQuil.com.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
vanilla latte for Mike.
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Introducing a completely redesigned Dick's Experience, a reimagined sports destination with an expanded assortment of the latest apparel and footwear styles from Nike, Adidas, Kalia, and the North Face, and the best gear to improve your game, plus interactive experiences. Test your skills inside the HitTrax multi-sport cage or perfect your swing in our TrackMan golf simulator. Welcome to an entirely new next-generation Dick's. Grand reopening weekend, November 17th through 19th in Oxford Valley and Willow Grove.
The AAA Eagles MVP membership is in full flight. Eagles MVP members receive all of the amazing benefits of AAA, along with Eagles rewards and experiences no Eagles fans will want to miss. Get discounts at the Eagles Pro Shop, chances to win tickets to every home game, pre-game sideline passes, exclusive invites to MVP events, and more. Join now and new members will get a $20 the Eagles Online Pro Shop, and you'll be immediately eligible to win Eagles rewards. Go to AAA.com/Eagles for details and join the flock today.
Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
It's been a lively morning on the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. It was a exhausting game yesterday. Now I'm exhausted right now pretty much every single day, so I can't tell. But that game took a lot out of me yesterday. There was high drama, high performances, like A.J. Brown, frustration, all the turnovers. I just can't get over it, how this team is so sloppy with the football after last year where they were so deliberate about making sure that they didn't do that. I went back because I'm a dork. And went back and was reading quotes from Nick Sirianni last year, where Nick Sirianni was talking about our ability to protect the football and turnover margin is why we're sitting where we're sitting. Mentioned that in more than a few games. Why are we at where we're at? Well, we're protecting the football. We're turning people over. Our defense is attacking. And you're not getting those things this year. But if you win on Sunday night, you're going to be 8-1, just like you were last year. And you'll be better off because you won't even have a conference loss. And you'll be unbeaten in your division, which you already are. But, I mean, it's just there's so much on the line, and it's going to be exciting. Because it doesn't look the same, Bob, but as your column pointed out, as Schlereth pointed out, as Andrew DiCecco pointed out, it doesn't have to be a thing of beauty because other teams are finding a way to lose those games. The Chiefs found a way to lose one of those games yesterday.
Exactly. And then if you can pile up the wins not playing your best football, isn't that the sign of a great team also?
Oh, no question.
So, yeah, there's obviously need to be filled and some shortcomings that they're going to address. But, yeah, to be 7-1 and not really be – like, this Eagles team is funny. All right, so yesterday
I wasn't laughing yesterday, Bob. I didn't find it very funny.
Yeah, so yesterday we're doing the pregame show, and we had a guest on, talking about the Eagles, and he just kind of threw it out like, and the Eagles' inconsistent offense, and then went on with his, prediction or his betting thing, and I'm like, wow, do we take this team for granted? Is this team not really understood? Like this guy, this expert, said that the Eagles' inconsistent offense, they're the third highest scoring team in the NFL. Like they scored 38 yesterday.
Though?
Yeah, they scored 38 yesterday, and I'm the one saying, why is Kenny Gainwell in there inside? Who am I to question a team scoring 38 points? Who am I to question a team that's averaging close to 28 points a game that is 7-1? I don't know, but I don't think I'm alone, and I think there's many people out there that still aren't satisfied at 7-1. I understand it to a degree. I don't understand it to another. For an expert to come on and say, casually, the inconsistent offense. And I listened to it. I didn't think anything of it. And then I just thought, wait a minute, where is this offense? And I look it up and to see the numbers that they're posting, it's incredible.
Third in points per game. If they score 29 points next week or more against Dallas, which I think they will have a better average going into the bye week, Bob, points per game than they had last year. They will have a better. Now, the defense, 18th in points per game. That's atrocious.
Well,
That's atrocious for a team with this much talent. They should never be 18th in points allowed. It's halfway through the season. 18th is
probably not, but let's not forget, where did all of our questions go before the year started?
Yep.
Linebacker. All right, not only were we questioning about linebacker group, you had one guy out for 4 or 5 games. Secondary. You haven't started the same safety tandem pretty much all year long in consecutive games.
Yesterday.
You talked about how the corners, they're 30 and over now. They both had career years last year, although Slay is very good and Bradbury's. They had maybe their best years individually last year. You probably couldn't expect that again. So all the questions that we had, they just haven't been answered. There's still questions, rightfully so. I don't know if you're going to shore that up. I don't know if Blankenship and what's his face that they just got, Kevin Byard. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be all right. Here's the safety tandem that you're going to love for the rest of the year.
No, you don't know. Right?
Yeah, the questions are still the questions, and now some injuries are starting to creep in. Jordan Davis had a hamstring. Jalen Carter now has a back. Fletcher Cox missed a game with a back. All these little about last year, yeah, they've crept in.
By the way, Jordan played 27% of the literally for the most part took care of Washington's running game, and he was a little banged up going into the game. There were questions if he was going to play. Boy, I'm glad he played.
Yeah.
There's because they certainly needed it. Brian in Dallas checks in this morning. Brian, good morning. You're on the Fanatic. How are you, buddy?
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
We're doing all right, man. Pretty good after the best team in the NFL right now, right?
Yeah. And I'm with you, John, right? I just want to be able to watch an Eagles game for once without being stressed, without being worried, without 2 minutes left in the game and it's still being doubt. Just once, right?
I did last year. You know what's funny is I did last year probably 6-7 times, which was a record for me.
Exactly. I haven't had that game like we had last year with Minnesota, where you're just sitting back and watching the offense go up and down the field, scoring points. By halftime, the end of the game is not in doubt. I just want one of those. I mean, I like to win. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world or where we are, but I had 2 things. One, I wanted to address something that Bob just said when he was talking about all the points that we're scoring and stuff like that. I mean, that's great. But I think the concern that me and most fans have, or even the expert when you talk about the Eagles offense, and he used the word inconsistent or whatever, right? It's just that you're looking for something that's sustainable in the postseason, right? Us scoring points on broken plays and Hurts being Herculean and that type of stuff, that's not sustainable in the postseason. I mean, we talked about last week we beat the Dolphins. We would say, hey, they're scoring points too. They're setting all records. But the people they're beating are not the people they're going to see in January and December. That's the same thing with us, right? I mean, not down in the competition, but the fact of the matter is everybody on our schedule is not who we're going to see in
January.
Yeah. January, right? And
last year we saw last year we saw Giants, 49ers. So we did see one patsy,
Yeah, but the offense in that time, the offense and the way it was running last year was a sustainable type of offense. It was one of the offenses because, we had the problem they haven't played anybody. I was like, yeah, but that offense right there, doesn't matter who you play, we're going to beat them. This offense this year, I mean, again, we're in the same position record-wise we are, but as we've said, we haven't played our best game yet. And to some degree, I wonder if we have. Is this just how we're going to be?
Well, we need you to have your eyes on the city of Dallas this week.
He made some great points. One thing that I do think is sustainable with this Eagles offense this year is A.J. Brown.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
I think that's sustainable. And a great point. If you go to a playoff game, what is looking to be taken away? Well, it's going to be A.J. Brown in a playoff game. And whether they force feed him, they've done it this year. He scored a touchdown on a double team yesterday. But look at all the other things that you have at your. He's right. They haven't played their best team, I don't think, so far yet on either side of the ball. But you're still 7-1. That's pretty cool.
And only one team in the NFL has those 7 wins, which is really incredible. As far as the unbeaten, only with 1 loss. That's really freaking awesome. I mean, really, because look at the landscape just for a second of the NFC. The second best team in the NFC is the Seattle Seahawks at 5-2. You're going to play them head to head. You'll have a chance to handle that head to head, but you got to go to Seattle to do it. But the Seahawks are there. The third seed is the Lions. Got a bunch of unproven teams behind you. Lions will be on national TV tonight. They've already lost a conference game. They're going to try to get to 6-2 tonight. The Falcons are the 4 seed. The Falcons scare you? Desmond Ridder? I mean, look, and then you got Cowboys in the first wild card, 49ers in the second with 3 losses already, which changes the dynamic big time, and then the Vikings in the 7th seed. And they just lost Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It looks like another year where the NFC is just really not in great shape, Brendan. It does not look. Oh, you were pointed. I thought you were telling me.
Mike Vito walked in the studio behind you.
You got to say hello to Mike Vito when he's behind us.
When isn't Mike Vito here?
Got to say hello to Vito.
Yeah.
He's always here. I think he may be homeless. I think he might be. I think he might be. He might be. He may live here. You don't know.
A great home here.
How do you know he is?
It's the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union.
That is the truth, but we're not supposed to be sleeping here. Look at you. He's brown nosing. He knows that he knows the new man's in the building today. Hey, let's check out Sam in Cherry Hill. You're on the Fanatic. How are you, Sam?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Get off your speaker, Sam.
I'm taking it off. How you guys doing today?
Doing all right.
Hey, man, happy good Monday morning after a good win. I think we really should start A.J. Brown, that MVP or Offensive Player of the Year conversation with the year he's having. I mean, him and Hill's what, got 1,000 yards, first player ever.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, I love the way our team can get, like they say, they can get punched in the mouth, and you see Jalen calm, cool, and collected. Even after the fumble, like, get the ball, just drive down and lead the team to his composure is big for us, and I really do like how we are playing, even though we do have a lot of holes to fill, and hopefully address it for you.
Sammy, I got to tell you, I appreciate your call. Bobby, he looks to me like maybe the most poised quarterback I've ever seen, as far as the Eagles. Poised. He
doesn't get in slumps.
His blood pressure never goes. You never see him frustrated.
No, it doesn't appear so. Yesterday, I was talking with one of the guys we were watching the first half, and I just said, I don't love that he goes and just sits on the sideline by himself and doesn't talk to anybody. That's not all on Jalen Hurts either. I would like to see a head coach. You know, I'd like to see communication. You can prepare as much as you want during a week. If there's something a little bit different, you got to talk about it. And just as I said that, I don't know, somebody came over. It was some kind of a coach. It wasn't Brian Johnson, but he doesn't get into those. You know, you remember with Carson Wentz, you remember with Donovan McNabb, they'd get into like little slumps.
Pouty too.
Well, I don't know about the pouty, but like you would see it in their play. You would see, he's not just playing well now. You don't see that with Jalen Leonard. Like if he throws a pick, he comes right back. Like the caller was just saying, he comes right back and then leads you down the field to a score. You're not getting highs, you're not getting lows. It's just really good, steady play, and then the steadiness of him is a higher bar than just average. His steady play is well above average, and I think you get it most of the time.
And I think what you see after a game, that sort of robotic answers and things like that, I think that's Jalen.
Yeah, seems like
it's the Saban. He's been raised under Saban with that whole mentality of don't give him anything, focus on the what for. It's pretty incredible. Eleanor joins us. Eleanor, good morning. You're on the Fanatic.
Good morning. How are you?
Great to talk to you this morning. We're all excited about that. Now,
I'm excited about the win, 7-1. Not overly happy about how they're playing, but I just want to add 2 cents real quick about Jalen. Jalen is a different breed to me. The way he carries himself, And I remember something that his father said about him. He said, Jalen is a very determined person. So when you go and see him sit on the side like that and he's just sitting there, I think his mind is going. He's, trying to figure out how we going to get this win. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And some people are just like that. They have to go and just kind of sit. They don't want to hear a bunch of noise because they're trying to stay focused. But that's what I think about him. And I just think he's a different breed. I think he has a hashtag that says rare breed. He is definitely that. And I think his father always told him, keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is get this win, play this game and get this win. And that's what I see when he goes and sits on the side.
I like that. That's very good. That's very good.
And the second thing about him, about the Eagles, yes, we're 7-1. No, we're not. I don't think it's going to be like last year. I think me and my son had discussed this. I was like, do you think we can get back there next year? He said, yeah, Mom, but that's going to take a lot. So I think where the fans are is that we want to see the same thing that we saw last year. We may not see that, but we still may get the win.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Eleanor. We got to move. That's awesome. Appreciate you there. Jalen Hurts is a rare, what's his thing is rare breed. He is a rare breed. He really is.
Yeah, he's I tell you all the time, a friend that constantly texts me that says he's average. He's an average quarterback on a really good team. And saying a bunch of other people. He just does things in a calming way that, and I'm not putting my friend down that says it. What I'm saying is I think he does things in such a calming way that when he is spectacular, it's not met as such because he's not meeting it as such. You know what I mean? There's not that celebration. There's not the running down the field and jumping on receivers. It's just business as usual. That dart that he threw yesterday to Julio Jones,
it was beautiful.
I mean, that was a hell of a pass.
A bullet in a needle.
And only place that he could catch it, that Julio Jones could get that ball. He just continues to make really good throws the more you watch him.
The quick little segue, because we haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. Sixers really should be 3-0, as Bob pointed out a little bit earlier. But there's some really impressive things that we're seeing early on. And all I could think of this weekend, Bob, and I brought it up to you this morning, was the fact that Tyrese Maxey must be saying, I'm up for a contract. And I am pouring it on and looking every bit the part like he can take the next step in his career.
Yeah, there's some really good things there. His shooting has unbelievably improved to the point where he's one of the better shooters, three-point shooters in the NBA right now, and I think that's going to be a consistent thing with him. The two-man game with him and Joel Embiid is real. Their pick and roll is really good. And you want to talk about learning from someone else. He almost exactly mimics James Harden with the way he passes a ball to Joel Embiid off a high pick and roll. We saw also earlier this year, he did the little behind the back to Embiid to shoot a three-pointer, which was exactly what James Harden did. Different hand because he's right-handed and Harden's left. But you can tell that he learned a lot from a real, good player in Harden to play a two-man game. When you have that and all the running they're doing to create baskets, yeah, it's a fun team to watch right now.
Now, you said you were talking to some fans yesterday because you guys were out at Maggie's. You have a great time or what?
Oh, it was awesome.
Isn't it an awesome spot?
I love that place, yeah.
It's a great spot. It's a great spot for crowds, like gatherings of people.
Yeah.
It's just at a good venue,
yeah,
too.
Huge crowd yesterday.
You said you were talking to a lot of people about, though, the Sixers, had comments on the Sixers with you.
Yeah.
And it was all over the map? Or?
Yeah, people are just they're fun with it. They're not really sure what they're seeing just yet because you're only 3 games into a Nick Nurse. You had something weird yesterday where James Harden comes in, watches film, does pregame workouts, and sits on the bench for the first half. I don't think
he was either.
Yeah, and he said, "Yeah, we're still in the ramp up process, so we're going to go." I had a guy come up to me and say, do you, and he had tweeted me earlier, and I forgot to get back to him, but he came up to me and said, "Do you think they would have won that game against Milwaukee if Harden had played?" My answer was, I'll just tell you this. I think they're a better team with Harden on the floor. I just do. I think they're a better basketball team with James Harden on the floor. So there's still so many things circling and turning and moving. I don't know exactly who this team is yet, but so far so good.
It's a disgrace, though, that James Harden is having to have a ramp-up process, that more of the annex and everything like this is affecting this team. His lack of professionalism hurts this franchise. Whether they'd be better off with him playing, I can't disagree with you that a talent like James Harden wouldn't be somebody who could potentially help you win. But I do wonder about him. He has a history of not helping you win when it matters the most. And I wonder if you're better off with Nick Nurse and this new regime starting. What you could get for him, I don't know. But the idea of the style of play, I think the game would slow down with James in it.
You can't let it. If that's what Nick Nurse wants to do, and somebody on here saying that I said I wanted to trade Tyrese Maxey. I don't think I've ever in my life
wanting to trade Tyrese.
So if Harden does get in there, if he is your point guard, it has to be an outlet passing James Harden. It has to be 3 dribbles up the floor and either looking to score right away or pass the ball off. This is a moving offense that Nick Nurse has now implemented.
It's
winning. Not that I don't know. I don't know what kind of shape he's in.
Well, he doesn't seem to want to play that. Is that
he didn't last year. He didn't last year with Doc Rivers.
Doc says he did not want to play it.
We talked about this. I think it was the day you were off. They asked Doc Rivers, I don't want to get this wrong, but something to the effect of what was more frustrating, coaching Ben Simmons or James Harden. He said James Harden.
Yes, he told Dan Patrick that.
Yeah, so that shows, and we've heard the talk about that. Doc wanted to go one way and Harden wanted to go another. I don't know. Maybe at this point in his career, James Harden is okay with running a Nick Nurse type offense. I don't know. I don't have the answers. We're going to have to wait to see if and when Harden gets out there with this team and this scheme.
If he didn't show Doc that respect, I don't know why he's going to show Nick Nurse that respect. I mean, it was supposed to be a marriage made in heaven with him and Doc. Hey, Stan in Drexel Hill, he loves his Sixers, and he joins us now. Stan, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? You hit it right on the head. I certainly do.
I know you do.
Real quick on the Eagles, 7-1. To me, I knew it wasn't going to be like last year. I don't care how you get there. They're on their path, and that's all I want. Especially with divisional games, sometimes it's a little hard to see what's going to happen because credit to Washington. It's tough 2 times this year. So
yeah, they did.
It is what it is. But so the Sixers, the Tyrese Maxey thing is very. Bob hit it on the head as far as Tyrese elevating his game, and we can say what you want about James Harden. The impact he's made on Tyrese has been a positive one from a playmaking standpoint because his passes, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, yo, he's just seeing the floor so much better. And then this is why I was kind of high on the team going into the season was because of Nick Nurse, because I'm watching Joel Embiid, and I'm watching him hitting no-look passes to Tyrese Maxey in the corner. I'm watching Tobias Harris, who usually – if he's dribbling, I'm going to score. And I'm watching him swing the ball. I'm watching this team just play more team basketball. Joel's still going to get his points, and you're just watching him still do it in a more deliberate manner than I thought that he did. Instead of just slowing everything down, okay, pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and roll, pick and pop. You're seeing more ball movement. You're seeing more cutting. I saw Kelly Oubre get 2 or 3 wide-open dunks against Toronto, and I'm like, listen, man, Doc Rivers' head would have exploded after that because guys just stay stationary, Yeah. And so I'm looking at it, and then defensively, the way these guys are playing on a string, I still think you can't have the Anthony Melton and Maxey in the backcourt together. I still think going forward that's too small, so I'm hoping whatever move you can make to upgrade that would be great. But the way these guys are playing together, playing on a string, it looks like they like playing for Nick Nurse. It just seems like having those vets too, the Pat Beverleys, the PJ Tuckers, able to go through this situation and still come out with good vibes because you have guys who are holding everybody accountable and holding things good. I don't know what
you got guys being professionals. Yes,
yeah, being professional. I don't know what's going on with James. I don't know what his issue is, and his pride he might need to swallow his pride and get over himself. But you guys are right. 20-11, you're always going to be better with a 20-11 guy on your team. But he needs to get with the program because these guys are not going to sit back. Tyrese Maxey, I told you guys this. This is my last point. Tyrese Maxey, to me, is going to be fighting for an all-star spot this year. The way he's playing, barring any injury. And the way this team is constructed with the role players, even if you can add more, it's very similar, in my opinion, to what Denver is doing, not having another superstar guy next to him.
Good job. Good job, Stan.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, got you, Stan. Yeah. There's It's really interesting how this team is playing right now, and I do like the speed of it. I do like that they have a defense that is creating offense. That's the Nick Nurse way. Is it sustainable with 35, 34, 38-year-olds out there on the floor each and every night? That's what your worry's going to be. And in James Harden, like you said, is he a guy that can play this up-tempo type of game? He's still an elite passer. It'll be interesting to see.
It's going to hurt
I just want to see
he comes back, though.
I don't think so.
You don't think we're seeing more of Maxey right now and more of this game?
He's handling the ball a little bit more, yeah, but I don't think it's going to hurt Maxey if you got a true point guard that comes in and plays. I don't.
Okay.
Maybe a scoring dips a little bit or something like that, but I don't think it would hurt him.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
That's good. I mean, it's a promising start.
Yeah, it is.
Look, it's a promising
so far, so good.
Just entertain me. I have no aspirations of the Sixers being a championship club this year, but maybe they could convince me by March. Right now, I don't believe it, but I'm highly entertained early on, so keep it going. We got a lot coming your way, including you're going to hear more from what the Eagles had to say about their victory. And we'll have more of our jurors checking in at 610-632-0975. And I asked the question earlier. Again, does the 2023 team remind you of the 2022 team? Do you see the parallels? Because right now it looks like two different entities to me, but it seems like they're on the same path. John Kincade Show here on 97.5, The Fanatic. Window Nation gives me a great deal, and then they let me give it to you. That means every window that you buy, you're going to get one free. So if you buy 2 windows, you get one free. That's a great thing. That's great. Every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get 2 free. Got 24 windows in your house, you're going to pay for 12. That's fantastic in and of itself. Plus, you're paying no money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 full years. That's pretty good, too. Put the wallet away. Take 30% off your energy bills, up to 30% in the 2 cold winters ahead and the 2 hot summers ahead. So you're already saving cash there. Your curb appeal, your home, is going to look incredibly different. The comfort level within your home is going to look so much better. You're going to absolutely love it. You're going to feel great. And right now, put your money away for 2 full years. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No money down, no payments, no interest for 2 full years. Only with Windows. Do your window shopping online at windownation.com. Then call them at 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Alone at the top. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia is your game day headquarters. Pre-game the Birds at the ultimate tailgate, steps away from the stadium. Join Bob Cooney, Andrew Salchunas, and Pat Egan for the Fanatic pregame show. Only at Live Casino and Hotel. The Eagles knocked off Washington Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31 to move to 7-1 and NFL best record. The team struggled early on, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team for the second time this season. A.J. Brown moved into the history books, becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record straight games of 125 yards receiving or more. He passed Calvin Johnson on that list. Jalen Hurts also threw for 300 yards for the 11th time in his career while tossing 4 touchdowns. The NFL trade deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m., so keep an eye out to see if Howie Roseman adds any more to this roster. The 76ers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers last night by a score of 126-98 in the team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid's availability heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points while bringing in 15 boards. Tyrese Maxey came with 26 points and Tobias Harris 24 of his own. The Sixers will be back in action Thursday night when they take on the Toronto Raptors, and you can hear that game on The Fanatic. The Flyers, they're going to be in that building tonight taking on the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. Listen to that game right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Earlier today, Mark Schlereth and Andrew DiCecco joined the show. Those are up now on our website. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philly Sports Tonight. Discussion on the big stories we've been talking about all day. Coming up tonight at 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Home improvement doesn't have to be scary when you let the Preferred Pros handle your projects. Whether you need help with drafty windows or you need to clean out the clutter, the Preferred Pros will help you transform your life and home. If you're tired of tricks and contractors ghosting you, reach out to a Preferred Pro. Whether your project is big or small, you'll be in for a treat.
Get the quality electrical repair services you need. When you choose Horizon Services, an electrician will be on time, fully stocked for same-day repair or next-day installation services.
Are you Dreaming of a backyard oasis? Are you looking for a pool installed in one day? Look no further than Pool Designs. Contact Pool Designs today to create the perfect pool for your home.
Paul B. Moyer. From blowers and trimmers to chainsaws and mowers, Paul B. Moyer and Sons in Doylestown and Jamison, PA have the best in outdoor power equipment, including parts and service. Visit in person or shop online.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details, Preferred Pros, visit 975thefanatic.com.
The best esport in the game just got even better. This week, developer Riot Games announced their new Valorant agent, ISO. The new agent is a duelist class, which means ISO's sole objective is to eliminate enemy players. With the previous agent Deadlock being poorly received, casual and professional players alike are hoping ISO will be a breath of fresh air. Will you log in to check out ISO?
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
At Simply Safe, our 24/7 lifeguard protection helps crime in real time, because during a break-in, every second counts, and these days, every dollar counts. Right now, get 45% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. It's U.S. News and World Report's Best Home Security of 2023. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like can help your engine get more miles. Right now, buy a 5-quart jug and get a free STP extended life oil filter. That's right, free. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need, when you need them, at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
In sports, if someone misses their assignment, your team is in deep shit. The same is true for your building's water and wastewater pump system. If one pump goes down, you'll be knee-deep in, well, you get the picture. Trust Pump Man Philly to troubleshoot, repair, rebuild, and maintain the commercial, industrial, or municipal system in your building or facility. Call Pump Man Philly at 833-59-PUMP or visit pumpman.com. Pump Man Philly, the guys to know to fix your flow.
Is it possible that fast internet could take your business to the next level? With gig speed Wi-Fi from Comcast Business, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 11/12/2023. Restrictions apply. Eco bill and auto pay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and compatible router.
Hey, jump into the NBA action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel when they place a $5 bet on the NBA. That way you can watch all the action as you bet on everything from point spreads, player props, you know all the different things. And best of all, when you win, you get paid instantly. So don't miss your chance to get $200 in bonus bets plus 3 months of the NBA League Pass. Just visit FanDuel.com/Bob and tip off the NBA season right. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. Must be present in Pennsylvania. New customer offer. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. All customer offer. $5 NBA wager required. Limit 1 pass per customer across both offers. Restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See full terms for both offers at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. NBA League Pass. Local blackout restrictions apply.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Gang Joe says, I think John Kincade makes good points 2% of the time for the advanced metrics. My wife may disagree with his metrics, that he's being a little generous there with the 2 points. I said, thank you for the advanced metrics on that. Appreciate that. It is a football Monday on the Fanatic, and you know what that means. It's presented by Pierce Phelps, Bryant, Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors. Visit nopaybryant.com for flexible spending options on a new heating and cooling system. I don't know what bad points I could make this morning. I mean, some people don't like some people do take the Andy Reid method, Bob. And I know that I know people that were like that are like that just want it's a win, let's just move on, forget about it. Whereas I'm just too introspective to just go, hey, we've said that too many times this year. We've said that too often already this year that it bothers me a bit. But the bottom line as we started the show today is 7-1 is 7-1. Bottom line. I mean, you get the best record in the NFL. And I really do believe the division race is over if you win on Sunday.
You can make the argument that the Eagles lost the best game they played last year. And that was the Super Bowl.
You absolutely could make that.
You could say that. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, win is a win. And if you have to win ugly, you win ugly. And sometimes that's just what it is. And if you have to win a high-scoring game and outscore somebody because your defense isn't getting everything done, well, then God bless you for having the offense to be able to do so. If you have a defense that shows up against one of the fastest, most prolific scoring teams in the league and they hold them to 10 points, God bless you. So this team has everything. It's just a matter of if it all comes together consistently on Sundays. But it's been good enough for 7 out of 8, so I think you got to take that, yeah.
And to think, honestly, put it out there again. You win on Sunday, you will be 8-1, which is what you were last year, but you will be unbeaten in the conference, which you weren't last year at 8-1. You're in a better position, and I'm looking at it right now going, Seattle's the 2nd seed, Detroit's the 3rd seed, Falcons are the 7th seed, Falcons are the 4th seed. I think it's it's a bad NFC again. Like you should be able to dominate. Dallas and San Fran are still the 5 seed and the 6 seed are still to me the most dangerous options out there.
Yeah, because they've played probably some of the best football so far this year. You can look at records and all that, and we talked about it before that San Francisco might have been playing their best football of the season early in the year. Maybe their first 4 or 5 games, that was the best they can play, and now things are happening. There's some injuries and
looks average.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying he shouldn't have played. I didn't watch so much of that game.
It was 7 points. It was a 7-point game, 17-10. San Francisco with the ball with 12 minutes to go. 11 minutes to go.
Okay.
So it wasn't a blowout or anything until the end.
Yeah.
And he started making a ton of mistakes.
Yeah, so, and he took another bad spill where his head snapped back and all. But it's just, you're never going to play your best football all the time. And we talk about, well, when are they going to play?
How
I
about
don't know.
some of the time?
Maybe.
Because I don't think the Miami game was your best football. It was a great defensive effort, but I don't think it was your best football.
Probably not best, but I thought it was their best all-around performance so far this year.
Impressiveness.
Yeah. So is there better two Eagles? Perhaps. Have we seen the best? We hope not, but like a caller said earlier, maybe we just don't know. Maybe running on all cylinders for this defense isn't something that's sustainable. The offense, I don't have many concerns about at all.
Hey, let me see here. Ricky in North Jersey joins. Ricky, you driving down or what?
Sure, I would love to. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm going to start off with a compliment. You guys need your own show on ESPN because the way you speak about the game, you know what you're talking about, than some of those people who are on ESPN. It's terrible.
Thank you, buddy.
That's number one. Number two, model of inconsistency, the Philadelphia Eagles. Why is it that this defense falls asleep? We made Sam Howell look like Joe Theismann. He threw for 397 yards, and against the Giants the week before, he only had 249 for 7 points. This is terrible. Reed Blankenship, he got exposed yesterday so much. I know he made the interception, but that was an overthrow. So this defensive coordinator, he has to realize that he got exposed a lot. If you looked at the game, which I know you did, you see the big plays came on Reed Blankenship's side.
I wonder too. Well, he also attacked Bradbury all day long.
Yeah, but Reed was the worst. It was the worst. All the big plays, I believe, came on Reed Blankenship's side. And number two, why does this offense wait to the second half to start get going? Why is it? Can you guys explain this to me?
I'm not sure, Bobby. You want to take a chance here for take care of Ricky?
Yeah, I don't know. But once it gets going, it's pretty damn. I mean, they're the third highest scoring team in the league. You're right, Ricky. I wish they would. Now they have though. They have come out when they get the opening kickoff many times this year. They've gone right down the field and scored. Sometimes it's a field goal, which you don't like. But we've talked about it. The scripted plays seem to work for this team most of the time, and then
they do.
And then whatever happens once you get inside the red zone is kind of a different story. But yeah, Ricky's a little. That's a perfection looking call.
Right.
He wants perfection, and he's not getting it.
He wants to see it, and it doesn't have to be all the time. Just all the time. And see that A effort. Hey, let's go as we start the 9 o'clock hour. Brought to you by the Bagster, the dumpster in a bag. You get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to Bagster.com. Hand on the Bible. It ain't easy being cheesy. John, from our YouTube crew, I got to hear what you have to say this morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey,
yes,
buddy.
it is difficult. Yes. So, a few things real quick. I'm convinced that Jamal Singleton is indeed scared of Fletcher Cox. I mentioned it last week. I think he's scared Fletcher's just going to eat him or something. Because there's no other reason that we should be seeing Kenneth Gainwell as much as we are. Anyway, one thing I did like was that the offense fought back. It was ugly to start out, but second half they made some adjustments and was able to make some plays and finish drives. I think the biggest issue that people are upset with is the fact that most times they're not finishing drives, or once they get into the red zone, it's like they forget what got them there. So I think once they clean that up, they'll be better off the rest of the season. They have to keep running the ball. That'll set the tone for everything else. You run the ball, you have your entire playbook open for you.
Yeah, I mean it certainly works if that you get the play. But the thing is right now I don't understand why they go away from the run and they don't want to just use what their best attribute is. They don't use it enough.
Yeah, it's like DeAndre Swift is the lead back. Like, stop trying to force Kenneth Gainwell. If you want to use ball and change your pace, that's fine. But like Kenneth Gainwell, okay, I get it. Best pass blocking back. But if you're going to keep it going, you got to go with Swift.
There you go.
Yeah, and there could be a case on there. Yeah, thanks, John. Like I said, Alcantara went out yesterday with an injury, a concussion early on. He's a great blocking tight end, as they've told us over and over again. Maybe that's why you had. Now, somebody pointed out to me, and rightfully so, DeAndre Swift played 70% of the snaps yesterday. Gainwell only 30%. I'm not really so much calling for Gainwell not to play, just to play in the right situations. And they're just so obligated for some reason to hand him the ball inside the 20 all the time. He's not explosive. He's not powerful, at least this year. He's not running like that now. That describes DeAndre Swift to me. And if you're putting him in there to block, well, then you're giving away what you're going to do.
Do you remember last year, Kenny Gainwell was the fourth quarter, run out the clock, mop-up guy that dominated. He had a great time out there. In the fourth quarter, the Eagles have a lead. Give it to Kenny Gainwell and just burn clock. Just take it. One game, I think they took 9 minutes off the clock at the end of a game. Didn't give the ball back. Kenny Gainwell, that was his role. His role wasn't to be the pivotal red zone, back, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, and some of it I think also was their trust or lack thereof in Miles Sanders as far as, making smart decisions, staying in bounds, and maybe some fumble. Kenny Gainwell's fumbling. Back that pretty much runs into the back of his offensive line and not much more. I don't mind him being used as that change of pace guy, but he doesn't have a whole bunch of pace that's changing right now.
He doesn't have a second pitch.
Doesn't seem like it. And the fastball ain't working.
It might be, and his second pitch may be Craig Kimbrell. That's a cheap shot. Shouldn't do that. Craig did all right. In jury duty, Brian checks in. All right, hand on the Bible, Brian. We need more of your testimony. Give it to us.
Good morning. So I have to give first off credit to A.J. Brown. Unbelievable year he's having.
Unreal.
It's right next to that TO season in 2004, and I'm wondering if it's almost better at this point. But he's been sensational. I do have to confess that I didn't think much of the Julio Jones signing, and I wasn't that excited about it. But seeing the way the teammates reacted to his touchdown yesterday and thinking that he could maybe be a red zone target that maybe fixes our red zone problems. I know he's never been a touchdown guy in the past.
No, he's never been a touchdown maker before.
But I'm wondering if going up high and throwing it into the end zone might be a way that they can utilize him. So I really like that. And then the last thing that I'm surprised hasn't gotten more attention after the game is that if Swift kneels down going to the end zone on that tush-push sweep, then that game just ends. We run out the clock, and we kind of let Washington back into the game. I thought that was a really boneheaded play.
See,
well, put them up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
They were up 34, and Washington got the ball back with, I don't know, a minute and a half to go. So it didn't cross my mind then. I like the points, and if you heard the reaction from the fans, there was a lot of people that laid the Eagles giving 7. And that put them up 14, and then a lot of people were pissed off there at the end that Washington got another touchdown. But I didn't think of it at that point for him to kneel down.
Hey, let's find out what our friend Mike at Delran's checking in. We know he'll be always rational and energized. How are you, Michael?
How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, if Sam Howell can play the Eagles 17 games a season, he'll be a Pro Bowler. Good for that guy. I'm happy for him. Good for him. But besides that, you know what? Somebody said to me on Twitter yesterday, and it made sense. That game had trap game written all over it to me, right? They could have lost that game after coming off the game they did with the Dolphins. It's always hard playing divisional games, and for some reason, the Redskins always play on them. But you know what? This team in football, guys, it's not just the best team in the NFC. After I watched
No, they're the best team in football.
They're the best team in football. I watched some powerhouse turds get destroyed yesterday and lose games they shouldn't have lost. Yeah, we lost to the Jets. I got it. But right now, we're 8-1. We're the best team in football.
7-1.
7-1. I don't care how it gets done. I don't care how ugly it is. As long as at the end of the day we get the W, that's what a championship team looks like. And Julio Jones, his second best play ever as an Eagle for the Eagles with the Julio. Things are great. Let's go. Go back.
Thank you.
It was fun hanging out with Mike yesterday. He went over to the
Well, you guys had a great time out at Maggie's yesterday.
Oh, so much fun. Yeah, I love that place. The people that work there, the people that come out. It was a great time.
It's a great. That's a great venue.
Yeah, Mike. You know what? That's got to make you feel a little bit better. You know, of course, we came in and nitpicked as we should. I mean, you didn't expect Sam Howell to do something like that. But Mike has it right. You know, trap game, maybe. Washington always plays you tough. That's empty coming from Bob Cooney. It really is. But when Mark Schlereth says it to us, that he was on the Washington team and they had no business being in games against the Eagles and they would beat them. Why? Just because it's a division game and they played well against them. Sometimes these things just happen, and maybe it's an Eric Bieniemy having the Eagles number dialed up that, you know, when he's calling offensive plays, and maybe it's just a thing about divisional opponents. But Mike's right. You got the win, and that's all that matters.
Well, when you hear divisional opponents thing, though, I always say, last week the Giants held them to 7 points and made Sam Howell look terrible. So, I mean, they're a division opponent, too. It's just weird. It's just a weird...
It could be Washington saying, God, why do we always play horrible against the Giants? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Or and us saying, why do we always play horrible? Like, we always play... I think we always play down to Washington, is how I would look at it. That we play down, like yesterday. First of all, I've had players tell me trap games is bull pucky, and I've had others tell me that they absolutely believe in it. It didn't feel... I didn't like the energy in the warm-up. I didn't like the bus coming over. That you'll hear that from a player. Usually they'll tell you that after a win, not after a loss.
Yeah, there's times where whether you're coaching, watching your kids play, your favorite team might be the Eagles, you could watch a full 60 minutes and come away and say, who was that? Like, what team was that? They were unrecognizable. I think we did that once 2 years ago. I think there was an Eagles game where we all came away, and I think our theme of the show was kind of like, they were just unrecognizable. Hasn't happened in 2 years. which is good because when you recognize this team, they're usually winning football games.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's all he does. Hey, AJ in Virginia joins us. AJ, good morning. You're on the Fanatic. You were there yesterday.
What's going on, my birds? Yeah, man, I was there, man. Look, I just wanted to give some props to the fans. I know my voice is kind of shot.
I can hear it.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you. I was in the executive suite on the level 4, right? So I'm talking about when Reed Blankenship caught that interception, bro. I swear for the Lord, I feel like my section created that.
That's awesome. You were part of it.
I'm telling you, we started doing a Let's Go Eagles chant.
Right.
And it took over, and then that interception happened. I almost jumped out of the suite, like out to the.
Well, that would have been bad. That would have been a bad moment for
we've already Eagles fans fall over railings there.
I made it, though. I could have made it.
What do you think? You're going to go body surfing, AJ?
I'm going body surfing, bro.
There you go, man.
And look, I'm telling you, man, the birds show up all day, every day, man.
And you wear your gear down there. I know that.
What? Come on. And, I wear my brother, man, and, he's a Washington fan, man. So,
oh, no.
God bless his soul, all right? But it was a blast, man. And the Eagles, the birds, man. The bird gang shows up, man. I'm telling you.
I love it.
No other fan base like us, man. Hey, look, y'all have a cool one, man. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, AJ. He's right. I do remember before the play, the fans of the Eagles chanting and clapping, let's go Eagles. And it did happen on that play there. It is amazing. And we're almost taking it for granted how well this fan base travels. It is absolutely.
That's a really good trip. It's an easy trip. I've done it with Philly sports trips, and I've done it on my own. It's an easy trip. I mean, that's one that's the only hard part is getting out of that damn rat's nest parking lot, which is terrible.
Yeah.
You're in a mall. It's like a mall. It's like a strip mall parking lot. It's so hard getting out of there. But if you just tailgate afterwards, Bob, is what you usually say. Have a little tailgate afterwards and have a designated driver.
Who's not up for a sandwich and a beer after a game? It doesn't all have to be before, right, Brendan? You know it.
That's what I do.
That's right.
Bob likes the post-tailgate as it's a strong move.
I like pre, post, during. You can tailgate whenever the hell you want. I don't think there has to be any rules on that.
Well, what's perfect is Dallas 425.
Yeah, that's cool. That's going to be fun. I've already had a couple of friends reach out. The guys are pumped for this. Like they are pumped for the game. Yeah.
I this morning, and it must be chemo brain again, because I was convinced for some reason this was a night game. But the second Dallas game in Dallas is a night game. So I was confused. 425 Sunday, spectacular. That's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and I think we saw some early weather reports this morning on the news that said Sunday looks like it's going to be a good day.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a nice day. It looks like
good
a nice
football day. We're talking about
mid-60s.
Mid-60s with hardly any chance of rain.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you trying to take Adam Joseph out of a job?
Nope.
Nope.
I like what I do right here.
Cecily would be a hard boss.
Yeah.
I think she'd be a difficult boss.
And they have to wear those things that you put around your neck. What's it called? A tie?
A tie, yeah.
And,
you don't like that.
And those things that like they cover your shirt. A jacket?
Jackets,
yeah. No, that's not for me.
Not for you?
No, I'm good.
So Adam's safe. He doesn't have to worry about you going
Yeah, no, he's good to go.
Hey, Charlie joined. Charlie, Big Eagles win?
Well, two things. First of all, good luck on your situation.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate 18 days, buddy. 18 days left.
I'm also a survivor. 2011 was my bout.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I love
Anyway, as far as the Sixers are concerned, and maybe it's me, I don't know, but it seems like they flow better without James. James dribbles too much for me, and it seems like the ball moves better and everything.
Yeah, I think James drags the game to a
He
halt.
did during the playoffs, yes, but you got to go back and remember, and I don't know, maybe he won't work in this offense, but you have to go back to December, January of last year, regular season, when they were playing their best basketball. It wasn't when James Harden was standing around. It wasn't when he was ball dominant. The ball was moving. There was passes. That's what helped him be one of the leaders in assists in the league. It wasn't that. Then it gets to the playoffs, and it did become that. If he's going to come back and play for this team, Yeah, he's got to play the Nick Nurse way, and that's passing and moving, passing and moving. Whether he can do it or not, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know or not. James Harden's a really smart basketball player and an elite passer. If he so chooses to be that, I think he could. I don't know that he would so choose. I just don't know.
I already know he's selfish. He's out for himself. He's not a team guy. He hasn't shown it. And he may be a good teammate to his friends and buddies and everything. But to me, I can't have a guy who's not committed. He's not committed to this franchise. And I don't want to see him in a Sixers uniform again. And maybe that's dumb on my part because he is a really good option. But I don't want to see him in a Sixers uniform again. He's tried to hurt the franchise. He's tried to hurt this fan base. He's trying to blow up the franchise, which he's done, by the way, in the past. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to root for him, Bob. Honestly, I don't want to root for a guy who's not committed, who has tried to hurt this fan base.
I look at it more businesslike. If this team is better with him on the floor, I can put all that stuff aside. And if they're noticeably better with him on the floor, if they know they're better with him on the floor, and he buys into the Nick Nurse offense and it suits, all that stuff comes together, yeah, he doesn't need my blessing or love or anything like that. I just want to see good basketball.
Hey, Mike, one of our jurors is checking in. Mikey, let's hear it. Come on, boy.
What's going on, man? How are you guys?
Well, we're doing all right. We're 7-1, best team in the NFL.
I know, but I'm tired of the Eagles not playing a full 4 quarters. You know, like every game they had this year, they have yet to play to a full quarter.
Could you see that? Could you see that as a potential positive that there's a coach that Nick Sirianni can reinforce over and over again?
Well, I could, but also, I mean, it's a little. It makes me a little nervous because of, like I said the last 2 times I called in, our upcoming schedule. If we take a quarter or 2 off, I don't want to say it, but I don't think we're going to win a couple of those games if we don't play.
Well, I don't think you're going to win. I think you're going to lose a couple of those games to begin with. I just do, but I don't think it's going to. I think every team is losing in the NFL. You're going to lose a couple games. They lost 3 last year.
And what's up with the Eagles making Sam Howell look like a Pro Bowler, like Mikey said?
So, Mike, let me ask you one question. If I had to say to you, give me one word to describe this Eagles team this year, what would it be for you?
Nerve-wracking.
All right.
And the reason I say that is because we know the expectations of this team, and I don't know if everyone's expectations are so high from last year, but I'm tired of watching half of a football game to a team that plays for 2 quarters. Like that game, no one should have had their clutch clenched yesterday for that game, and I think a lot of people were scared.
I think you are. I think you may be our most negative juror, Mr. McNellis, but I think it can. I think your points are valid. So I'll give you that, Mikey.
Yeah.
Points are valid, but
valid, yes. Nerve-wracking isn't necessarily a negative term. It's truthful. I thought he was going to spew more towards negative on. Obviously, going to come back with, wow, that's a place to be at 7-1.
Yeah, I think it's in some weird ways, I think it could be a positive.
It could be.
Could be.
They're winning games.
But I keep hearing, oh, yeah, these are learning moments. These are things. And I'm not seeing the teaching then. I'm not seeing them improve on. We keep hearing the same talking points. Nick Sirianni's used it 4 times this year. Yeah, games like this, they're good teaching points. They're good things to learn from. Okay. Well, where's the learning process? By the way, and also, too, 3 different times. You don't want to be playing your best football in September. You don't want to be playing your best football in October. Well, guess what? Next game's in November. And that. I don't need to hear that one more time. Oh, well, you don't want to play your best. No, in November, that's when Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, and his teams usually start playing their best football. So I want to see it. That's what I want to see. And I have a lot of faith in Nick Sirianni because all he's done is make anybody who ever doubted anything about him look stupid because he's tremendous.
Yeah, Eagles have only had 3 penalties in the last 2 weeks of football.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's good. And you talk about learning stuff or learning moments. Maybe that's something that they're really concentrating on. I do think the refs missed a couple against Miami last week. There were some blatant holds that they didn't call against the Eagles. Ball, what your goal is.
Yeah.
seen, like, turnovers are turnovers, and they happen. Are they dumb turnovers? I think that was a bad handoff. That was a bad snap, whatever it was on the one. Kenny Gainwell, look, the other team's looking to try to get you to turn the ball over, too, and they're professionals. So those things are happening. I don't really recall the Eagles playing stupid or dumb football.
No. Stupid's not the word for them.
No.
No.
So they're 7-1. I mean, no matter how you're going to look out the window, the sun's going to hit you in the eyes because that's what this team is. They're 7-1.
Nick Sirianni's career record after yesterday, 30-12.
It's not bad.
And that's regular season, and his postseason's 2-2. But 30-12 with an NFC championship and a Super Bowl berth. Now, can he close the deal? But that's incredible. That is a spectacular start. That is high cotton as South. That's one of those Southern things.
They keep that one down
cotton.
there. High cotton?
Yeah, high cotton. That means that's a good thing because if it's high cotton, it means you're going to make a lot of money. You make a lot of money.
We're the northern people. We don't do cotton and
I like cotton
stuff.
I got a cotton T-shirt on today.
Yeah,
some cotton slacks too. Hey, Bob wants to ask if we're spoiled, and we just might be. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I love the American Association for Cancer Research, and I am rooting for every single person going to work today that they're going to have a great day and they're going to come up with something, because I'm looking for answers, and I'm hoping that is something that you're going to be willing to support. As a 2-time cancer survivor, soon to be 3. I know firsthand donations that support cancer research are the keys to finding a cure. And right now, the AACR has something so amazing. All first-time donors received today through the end of the year are going to be matched for twice the impact. No amount's too small. Every dollar counts twice during this challenge period. You've got till New Year's Eve to pull it off. Every dollar counting twice, that's going to be awesome. You're going to propel the next generation that are discovering and preventing and diagnosing and treating and one day potentially curing cancer. I've got 18 days left in this, and I'm going to get across that finish line, and hopefully very successfully, because of people like you. AACR.org/fanatic. Make that donation today. Give what you can. Your donation to support cancer research is saving lives like mine.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Move over Calvin Johnson. I'm Brendan Gunn, and this update is brought to you by Temple Football. Don't miss big-time college football action when Temple battles Navy this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. Kids tickets are as low as $10 on game day. Visit alstickets.com. The Eagles knocked the Commanders yesterday by a score of 38-31, but ultimately beat a pesky Washington team time this season. A.J. Brown moved into the history, becoming the first wide receiver in NFL history to record 6 straight games of 125 yards or more receiving, passing Hall of Famer Calvin Johnson. Jalen Hurts also threw for 300 yards for the 11th time in his career while tossing 4 touchdown passes. The NFL trade deadline is tomorrow at 4 p.m., so keep an eye out for Howie Roseman and any moves he can make. The Sixers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers last night by a score of 126-98 in the team's home opener. After questions of Joel Embiid's availability heading into the game, the reigning MVP tallied 35 points while also bringing in 15 rebounds. Tyrese Maxey checked in with 26, and Tobias Harris also had 24. The Sixers will be back in action this Thursday as they take on the Toronto Raptors. That game can be heard right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. In that building tonight, though, the Flyers, they look to get back in the win column as they take on the Carolina Hurricanes at 7 p.m. That game is also right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Brendan Gunn on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia Flyers season is here. The anticipation for the future is positive. Follow the Flyers all season right here with play-by-play and more. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Imagine it's the final game of the season, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are making a comeback. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. We have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year, Staples wants everyone to have a happy Holla deal. That's right, Holla Deal. Staples Holla Deals are amazing savings on hot holiday tech. Great prices on laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. And now at Staples, you can save up to $300 on select PCs. During Staples Holla Deals, it's not a fa-la-la. It's about saving moo-la-la. Save up to $300 on select PCs today at Staples. Ends 11/11 in-store only. See it for details.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, at my fingertips. And now through November, purchase Certainty with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need some headlight bulbs.
You can earn a $10 bonus reward when you buy 2 Sylvania Silver Star Ultra bulbs.
Get in zone.
Wait, my wiper blades are streaking too. I need some new ones.
Right now, you can earn a $15 bonus reward when you buy 2 Rain X Quantum wiper blades. With new blades and bulbs, you'll see better on the road.
Get in zone.
Wow, how do you remember all these deals?
Call it Second Sight.
Get in zone.
Offer valid for AutoZone rewards.
Philadelphia is in a bad place and heading in the direction. We've got to stop this now. For me to turn this city around with common sense solutions, good government reforms, and hard work. Our number one problem is crime. I'm a former Philadelphia prosecutor, so I've actually fought crime, and I know how to effectively reduce murder and violence in our neighborhoods. On Tuesday, November 7th, say no to the status quo and vote for David O. Paid for by Citizens for David O. Hi, I'm David O, and I approve this message.
Wait, was he tackled or did he slip and fall?
Looks like the coaches are demanding a replay.
Too bad they can't demand Rand.
What?
You know, Rand and Mike Spear, the accident lawyers. They are personal injury specialists, and they have the best 1-2 punch in the game. They won over $750 million for their clients.
If you want to win, don't settle for the second string. Call 1-800-90-LEGAL and demand Rand. Or start your claim online now at randspear.com. 1-800-90-LEGAL.
Guys, basketball season has begun, and the big question is, will this Philadelphia team rise to the occasion this year? But the bigger question is, will you? Hi, this is Dr. Avidan Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. If you're experiencing ED or low testosterone, our team of physicians can help with a custom program designed to treat your symptoms that's safe, effective, and affordable. And if you're struggling to lose weight, we now offer prescription Ozempic too. Schedule a free consultation at IronMountainMen'sHealth.com. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
Harris Philadelphia wants to give you more for your play with 3 times comp dollars on table games. Play your favorite games like blackjack, craps, and roulette and earn comps 3 times faster than ever. That's 3 times the comps for free casino play, dining, entertainment, hotel stays, and more. Use your comps at Harris Philly or save them up to use at any Caesars Rewards destination. Get to Harris Philly and on the tables to start earning. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, Audacy. Check it out now. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Brendan Gunn spinning the tunes. In for Egan today. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. Got a few. Where's Egan? Where's Egan?
I'm just a little taller. He's in here somewhere. He's just down there.
He'll be back tomorrow. He's just you're in there in his seat. Is that a comfortable seat?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, and then his mom stopped out with donuts. So the whole Egan, everyone's showing up, just not Pat.
T-Dog's the best.
You and Pat haven't worked together in a while. You were off Thursday. Pat was off Friday. Pat's off today.
So it's been Wednesday. So we'll have Pat tomorrow as Beat Dallas week in our house. It's a thing. And we used to have this sign, Bob, and I got a picture for you there. As you always say, you've got a million pictures. We in our house this is Beat Dallas week. It goes up on the sign in the house. And it's always Beat Dallas week. It's a holiday. It's important. And it's 4:25 on Sunday afternoon. It's a chance for you to set up the party from now. Get your PJ's wings lined up. You guys got pregame on Sunday.
We do. We got pregame on Sunday, sponsored by Philly Sports Trips. We'll be down there, me, Andrew, and Pat. And you know what, John?
What's that?
Since I'm in such a giving mood.
Oh, no. You're giving them more away?
Oh, yeah. You want some free food? You want some free booze? You got it.
Well, that sounds great.
Fifth caller. Haley, you got to count to 5 on this one. Fifth caller, 215-263-0975. You win a pair of tickets to the ultimate tailgate.
Haley just took her shoes off to make sure she can count that.
Wow.
I'm giving her some hell this morning. It's fun. It's post that Halloween weekend. And I think that Haley does Halloween hard, really does. She parties it up. She loves it. She loves Halloween. I hate dressing up. Not a fan. Are you a fan? I am not.
I think you know me better.
I can't stand it. I would never expect Bob to.
Look, if they said, there's a party and we had to get dressed up for, yeah, we would do it. But
who would you be this year? If you had to be somebody and it had to be topical, I know who I'd be. Senator Fetterman. I'd find the rattiest jeans, a dirty sweatshirt that looks like it has like mustard stains on it. I would be Senator Fetterman, and just do that. That would be my call.
I'd probably be Taylor Swift.
Oh wow!
And Donna could be Jason Kelsey.
See, now that would be a great costume.
Or Travis Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
If Jason would not. He would not get involved in that.
I got to tell you, I love Jason Kelsey. He is the greatest. He's the everyman.
Yes.
Just a good dude, and I hope to God he's around here forever.
Is there a butt coming?
Hell, big butt. I'm tired of seeing his brother on TV, man. Like, I'm tired of him being in every damn commercial. God bless him for being so successful and tying it in to being together with one of the most famous women in the world also at the same time. Oh, my God, is there a commercial?
No, he's got it.
He's got the corner.
He's cornered the market right now.
Oh my goodness!
Deservingly so, though, because he's a charming guy.
Did you see what they did in Denver yesterday?
No.
So the Chiefs lose. You saw this, friend. The Chiefs lose in Denver. Game gets over, and they blare a Taylor Swift song over it. Yeah.
By the way,
so that's just funny, good stuff, and he probably chuckled at it too once he got in the locker room.
I was watching the red zone for the most of the late games.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to see the 49ers lose, so I ended up moving over to the 49er game exclusively. And I got to tell you, and it's a shout out to a local guy. And yes, he does business with the other radio station. I don't give a damn. I love the guy. Ross Tucker has been to now doing games on CBS. Ross did that Denver game yesterday. They did the no, I think he did the Arizona game yesterday. He did the Arizona game with the Ravens. He did a fantastic job. Really, really good job. It was nice to hear Ross Tucker doing games.
Yeah, I was sitting on the couch on Saturday before we went out, flicking around, and I hear the smooth voice of Tom McCarthy doing the. I think he was doing the Penn State game. He's just great. McCarthy's just the best. Yeah.
I think McCarthy though is like I don't know how I've heard it before. Is the idea is that my mom would say it to my aunt. I don't know how you sleep on your mattress because you're going to be hitting the ceiling because he's got to be putting the cash away, man.
Oh,
I mean he's doing big events. He did Georgia football, and then he gets to do Penn State, so you get to do a little the other stuff too. But Penn State football, they got big games coming up.
9th in the country.
We'll see what they get. Please. Hey, Brian in East Falls joins us. All right, put your hand on the Bible, Brian. I need your testimony. It's usually very good and concise.
Will the real Pat Egan please stand up?
He is standing.
He is standing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bob, I think you should go as Captain Underpants, man. With the bald head, I think that would be a great costume for you.
It's not bad. Captain Underpants wasn't huge in my house, but I always thought it was pretty good.
Oh man! So my testimony for the Eagles yesterday. So I was listening to the pregame show on 97.5. Unlike John, he was watching the Fox pregame. So I heard Tim McManus come on, and then I heard Bob talk about Tim McManus after. He said that Tim McManus he predicted a blowout for the Eagles, right, Bob, yesterday, and then you went into how it was well put together. This isn't just something he was saying. So I'm not saying he was wrong or you guys are wrong, but what I'm saying about this team is that nobody knows week in and week out.
It's a great point, Brian. Great point.
I feel like what we're gonna get, and I felt like they played well yesterday. They played to the strength of their opponent, but they got to stop turnovers, man. This team. I don't think they had a game yet so far this season where they haven't turned the ball over. And they're not getting turnovers. I think it was 2 turnovers in the last 24 quarters. So this is something that I feel like needs to change.
And Brian, it's what I'm looking for. I just keep hearing the same explanation. I'm looking for things to change. And to see a good. I believe Sunday night. I really do.
Well, yeah, beat Dallas. It's a holiday, man.
Oh, it is. It's a holiday in our house. Beat Dallas week begins. I love it.
Yeah, and you got Halloween tomorrow, so it's a fun week leading up to Sunday. I love the 4:30 start. It's going to get dark earlier though because we turn the clocks back
on Saturday night.
Yeah,
right.
Saturday. So, you're going to need good effort. Dallas can put up points. Dallas plays well against the Eagles.
They do.
They're gonna have to have a good, maybe their best game of the year. The Eagles are.
I would agree
to get this one. Yeah,
you can't come with a half-assed effort on Sunday.
No, and
I don't believe they will. We'll get into it all week long.
We'll get all into it, like X's and O's and all of that stuff. But when you see Dallas put up 43 or whatever it was last night, and see that they've put that number up before this season, there's some concern for sure.
That made me feel better.
Yeah, get it out of their system.
Yeah, it made me feel better because they are the biggest front runners. Maybe in the NFL. When things are going well, boy, they'll pile it on and look great and everything and then crap the bed. But there's one thing though, and we'll get into it more during the week. I got to tell you, Dak Prescott has owned the Eagles. When he plays against the Eagles,
yeah, he plays well.
He's on the Eagles and he deserves that credit. So, let's see what Karate Mark is with us. Mark, what's going on, buddy?
Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans and Philadelphia Sixers fans. A bright, bright morning on this gloomy day.
Yeah, but I can't believe it because I heard you were out yesterday with Bob hanging out at the pregame show. I never see you in Philadelphia. I follow you on social media. You're never here. You're always jet-setting around with a beautiful woman on your arm.
I can't deny it. I'm the benefactor of a beautiful woman who likes to travel.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I consider myself like an interactive arm bag. You know, I sit there, I attach myself to her arm. I look good. I look expensive. But
there you go.
Hello to people. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yo, yesterday was freaking awesome. I know the Eagles haven't played a perfect 4 quarters. I know the Eagles haven't looked incredibly immaculate for an entire game. It's professional sports. It's very, very hard to win. And in a sport like football, you make one mistake, that could be detrimental to the entire game. I know a lot of people are looking for 4 perfect quarters. We're 7-1. We're first place in the NFL.
Yeah, it is. I'm not looking for 4 perfect quarters, but I'm looking for a complete game, Mark, and I have not seen one. Both sides of the ball, but both sides of the ball. And by the way, I went down the roster of games last year. I think they had 6 or 7 of them last year out of 18, out of 17.
Well, then, what do you mean by a full game?
I want to see a game where we come out of it going, boy, the offense looked really, really good. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. The defense, they gave up some points. Like if you give up 24 points to Dallas, I don't give a damn. That's a solid day's work at the office on defense. But did you make plays? Did you turn the ball over? This defense isn't turning the ball over enough, and I need to see more of that.
I hear you out on all those. One thing we can agree on: 7-1.
There you go, buddy.
And Mark went to the Sixers game last night too.
How was that?
Oh my God, the Sixers! I'm very, very excited about this team.
How excited? What are you talking about? Like compete for a championship?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, but then I got you.
Here, they're going to be 3rd, 4th seed, maybe. I do believe the energy is what this team needs. This team needs energy. It's been poisoned by Ben Simmons. It's currently being semi-poisoned by Harden. I do agree with Bob. Harden on the court, Harden bought into the game. Harden on the court does make this team better. His talent can bring this team to a championship. Will his brain, will his heart bring this team to a championship? I don't think so.
Thank you, Mark.
Out of here.
I don't think so. I want him gone.
Thanks, Mark.
And Mark does too. I want him gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve to represent a franchise. When you're trying to harpoon a business that you work for, when you're trying to harpoon a business that you work for, I got to tell you, I don't want you. I don't want you around. You're not working. You're not rowing the boat along with everybody else in the same direction. You're doing your own thing. You're looking out for yourself. You're not looking out for anybody else. You're being a selfish guy that is looking out for your own agenda. And to me, I don't want that in a Sixers uniform. I don't want to root for him. I know he's talented. I don't want it. I don't know what kind of a deal they can get, though, because Harden is not sought after across the NBA. Everybody's had their chance. Nobody wants to even step up. Now the Clippers, according to Woj, the Clippers know they're the only team that has any kind of interest in Harden. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and they've backed up on it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I can remove my feelings of whatever, the stuff that you just stated. If you were guaranteed that they would win a second round with James Harden, would you take it?
Guaranteed to win a second round? Yes. I don't believe it. But I absolutely, if I was guaranteed it, I'd take it. But I don't want to root for him ever again. Look, it's fool me twice, shame on me. And I knew it was coming in. Enough people exactly who he was going to be, and it played exactly to the script. He's that guy. You can't count on him in the biggest moments. He's not going to be the guy that carries you, puts you on his shoulder, and carries you through. He may for a game. He's not going to for a 7-game series. He's not that guy anymore. And I don't believe his agenda is team. The Eagles are team. Jalen Hurts is team. A.J. Brown, the epitome yesterday of team. In every comment that he made, he didn't want to talk about himself, setting an all-time NFL record. Didn't want to talk about it. I want to talk about the win. I want to move on to next week. James Harden is none of those things.
Yeah, D'Anthony Melton might be a great team guy, but he's not as good as James Harden.
No, I
Maybe
understand.
James Harden gets you 10 more wins, so I don't.
10 more wins?
Really care. I don't. I like that business stuff and all that. Yeah, it sucks. And I can't stand that friends of ours that are in the organization have to put up with all of this yet again. And I'm just talking on a person. I'm not.
Right, I got you.
But as far as being the best basketball team they can be,
No,
sorry,
you're right.
you gotta.
You're right.
He's got to be on the floor probably, and you're not going to get anything for him. So, what would you do as a bit? Well, you already stated what you would do as a business. If
No,
your
I
business is better with putting that disgruntled guy in there and saying, "Well, go," but your business is still better. I don't know.
But
I
I'm
think
putting a guy out there though that literally skips out of town and goes out of town for 9 days, goes AWOL, and then does the publicity stunt of showing up for the plane, saying, "Oh, I want to go and play now. Oh, you guys don't want me to go?" I mean, he's constantly drama. He's constantly antics. It is all contrived. It is absolutely planned. He knows exactly what he wants to do. And to me, he's hurting. If you're a Sixers fan, you should be pissed off because he's hurting you. He didn't play in 3 games. Now, you won 2 of them, thank God. But he's hurting the franchise. He is not a guy helping your franchise. He's not rooting for you to win.
How can he best help you?
How can he best help you? That hopefully there'd be somebody comes
There's
up
not.
with a trade. Well, hopefully.
So how can he? There's not. Like you've said it over and over and over and over again.
One team.
He's not. There's not. Nothing's good. Not. And if you do trade him, you're getting pennies on the dollar. So how can he best help you?
I don't believe he can because honestly, I don't think he's going to put in the effort. He hasn't. He hasn't shown me anything. He hasn't shown me, Bobby hasn't shown me he's going to be a professional. And if I know,
I'll take the only guy in the NBA to average 20 and 10 on my team.
Okay,
I'll say that. Yeah, I don't. There was a guy at Maggie's yesterday that came over and he asked me, what do you think? What's going to happen? And I said the same thing. Like, I think they're better with Harden on the floor. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I don't know what's going to go on there. And he says, you know what? And I'm not asking for this, advocating it. I'm just what somebody said. Why don't they just fire Morey then, and bring Harden in if it's a better basketball team? And I said, that's been bannered about by many people also. Like, it's just
that would be
the sad part
ridiculous.
Of it, the sad part of it is that we're at this point.
Right.
Like, that's just what sucks. And, it's hard to argue with you when you say that he brought all this on because he did.
And he's hurting us. I mean, he's hurting. The fan base is getting hurt. They're the ones who are getting hurt by this. This fan base, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about any of us. Not at all. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about winning Philadelphia title. Nobody can spin that bull pucky right now.
Well, I think that's going a little too far because I don't know how many athletes really care. We're lucky here where we have a bunch of Phillies, a bunch of Eagles, and probably, on the other teams, guys that love the city. But athletes as a whole, who they looking to win for?
Oh, no, I got you. They're looking to win for themselves most times.
Yep.
But this city has a ton of guys who lead by example, who can do that. Keith on a cell wants to get in. Keith, good morning. You're on the Fanatic. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. All right, I'm going to tell you this. They are not a better basketball team with James Harden. James Harden is a block hole. He dribbles the ball till 9 seconds left on the clock, and by that time there's nowhere to go with it, takes a bad shot, and they're down on defense. I've watched them for the last 3 nights. They lost to Milwaukee by 1. This is a team that is a much better team without him. They move better without him. The ball ends up where it's supposed to end up. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a detriment on defense. Melton is not. I know he's not a 20 and 11 guy, Melton. But when you take everything and add it up and take a look at the pluses and minuses, it is overwhelmingly they're a better team without him.
I don't know. I can't go overwhelmingly, Keith. I hear what you're saying about the ball and the sticking, and that was in the playoffs, and it looked horrible, and I didn't like it either. But you can't forget that stretch where they were playing the best basketball in all of the NBA through a 50 to 60 game stretch last January, February, middle of the season. I don't know if he's going to fit.
What did it get you? If you guys are saying he's not the guy that's going to carry you to a championship, and it played out exactly as you were told it was going to play out, then you're arguing against yourself.
No, I'm not, Keith. Nothing is guaranteed in sports. You can't say it, okay, because he didn't last year, he's not going to do it this year. I don't know that. I didn't think the Phillies were going to lose.
But I go by his track record.
Yeah, his track record.
Sure.
Pretty
but I go by last year, him playing with Embiid. Embiid won the MVP and scored the easiest baskets I've ever seen him score in the NBA for a season.
Okay, and what makes you think that he's not going to win the MVP? think they're a better team. Maxey's a better shooter. Maxey gets to the basket better than James Harden now at his age, and he finishes. And when Embiid works that pick and roll and gives up the ball, I didn't see Maxey miss a single layup.
Yeah, Maxey, you're right. Those two are playing very well together. And I hear the people that say, oh, I don't want Harden back. I just want to watch Maxey and Embiid. Okay, that's fine. I would like to see, if he has to play, I'd like to see what Harden would do in this Nick Nurse offense. Maybe he sucks in it, and it doesn't work. I just want answers. I don't proclaim to have the answers. I want to see it and then try to get answers off of it.
Oh, let me see here. Derek in Seattle joins us. Derek, you're excited. What's going on? You had a 7-1 football team you're excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited up here in Seattle where the Sea Chickens are at. I called you guys before. I got to deal. You guys got to realize I got to deal with the Sea Chicken fans here. And these guys, they really try to think that their team is just top notch when they're winning. Or,
they're in first place today, which is pretty wild.
Yeah. I just want to I want to point out that Sirianni, I honestly think that he needs to either sit down with his defensive coach. Our D-line is great. Great. Love them. But I look at the timing. We give a 10-yard cushion on our cornerbacks with Darius Slay and Bradbury, and those guys are getting burnt every time.
Yes.
They're not bumping the receivers coming off the line to stop them from getting into a path. And if you give them that 3 seconds, how long does it take Mr. Riddick and Mr. Sweat to get back there?
Yeah,
4 seconds.
I'll tell you this, though. That job, Hassan Reddick, he is the closer. He's the closer the Phillies need. In that fourth quarter, he starts terrorizing quarterbacks. You're going to be, Derek, you're going to be up there. You're going to see that team in person, and you're going to see them in December. They're coming in.
I can't wait for it. I'm going to be at the link, and I'm just like,
that's awesome.
Fans.
Have a great time, buddy. Appreciate it, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Thanks for checking in. Bob, I want to leave everybody with a happy moment today. Make sure they get a really happy moment. John Clark of NBC Sports Philadelphia gives you the happiest thought you can put in your head today. In the Super Bowl era, this is the fourth time the Eagles have been 7-1. Every other time, Super Bowl Sunday, you had plans. So there's one of those happy thoughts to put in your head today. In the Super Bowl era, when the Eagles are 7-1, they go to the Super Bowl every time. 3 for 3.
Sounds good.
I think 4 for 4 is in order. I really do.
All right, I'm in.
I know.
I got nothing going on in February.
I know you're in.
Yeah, why not?
A trip to Vegas, and we already have hotel rooms because of hotel rooms. And it's not the greatest hotel rooms, but they're very affordable. They're very affordable, and they're in the box. A great time. I know this. I got to tell you, Dallas week is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things. I love Dallas week and the whole build up to it.
It is fun. Like I always tell you about feelings and you bring it up also, John. My feeling for a Dallas week are like 2 days in advance of what they normally are. Like today would normally just be all about yesterday, and I'll rewatch the game tonight. Sure. But I'm already on to Dallas. Yeah,
it is such an opportunity, a golden opportunity to foot on the throat of the Dallas Cowboys this week. And we're going to be talking about it all week long and getting you involved in it. You don't want to miss any of it. It's going to be so much fun. I can't beat it. Our friends at Davis CPA Group, Ron Davis, who, by the way, is recovering from his knee replacement, and he's getting ready to get back to games.
You go, Ron.
And everything like that. As long as Ron's good for tax season and we don't end up in debtor's prison, we'll be okay, Bob. We need Ron.
Yeah, Ron's.
Hey, Ron Davis and the Davis CPA Group, check them out. They're absolutely awesome, and they support the AACR, and I want you to do it too. Go now to 975thefanatic.com/AACR, 975thefanatic.com/AACR, because I can tell you this, cancer research saves lives. I'm counting on you to help out. Every donation through a secret donor is doubled through the end of the year, which is absolutely awesome. And I am 18 days out. I have treatment Wednesday through Friday this week. It is treatment 11. And there's only 2 freaking blocks left. And I am ready to knock those things down. And it's because of you, too, that I've had a lot of the inspiration to be so empowered. So thank you so much. Thank you, AACR, for all that you do. Andrew Salchunas is going to be pretty excited, I would imagine.
especially after hearing that 7-1 stat. He's going to be pretty excited. Thanks for that, John Clark. Have a great Monday, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow at 6. It'll be Halloween.